And we're live, back again for another World Cup Qualifiers Daily with your boy, Dominic Rich. And this is World Cup Qualifiers Daily number 26. I actually wanted to do this live stream last night, guys, but to be honest, man, oh man, what I've done across the last week or so, it is not good. It is not good for the body, I'm telling you, because the amount of work I put in is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of work I put in. You see what I mean? And the coverage that I've really, done on all the confederations, not just CONCACAF, but all the confederations and all the games that I've been watching and that I've been following. When I'm not really watching it, it's there in the background playing. It's just been a lot of work. Plus, I went back to work on Monday. I worked 3 days, and I'm telling you, man, for the past 3 days, I didn't get a lot of sleep. So, yeah. So, Jersey Boy coming in with confirmed. Tapper Whitmore sacked? Nah, this can't be true. This cannot be true. This cannot be true. What is going on here? Is this true? This cannot be true. Theodore Whitmore? The man who I thought is unsackable these days? He's sacked? No. No, I don't know. Look, just check the official Reggae Boys website. I ain't seen nothing. Let me double check. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see what's going on here. Tapper fired, sacked. Whoa. This ain't real. This ain't real. Tapper Theodore Whitmore sacked? Hell no. Oh boy. Are we going to see a turnaround in Jamaica's fortunes now with 6 games to go? So, oh man, Jersey Boy, thank you, bro. Thank you for coming in with the news there. Remember, this is World Cup Qualifiers Daily, and that's big news. That is big news. So, I don't see anything here from... maybe I need to make a call or something. Maybe I need to make a call. Oh, boy. Maybe I need to call my boy Simon Preston. Whoa. This can't be for real. This cannot be for real, man. Tapper Whitmore. I think he done pretty good over the last 6 games, I can't believe Tapper Whitmore got the sack, man. Let me see my boy Simon Preston will pick up. Let me see something.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Hey, Simon.
How you doing, man?
Is it true that Tapper Whitmore got sacked?
The board is meeting right now, so based on my understanding, the board is gonna vote for him to be sacked. It's not done yet, but the majority is going to vote against him. Not official yet.
Wow. And just so you know, I started a live stream, to do my usual World Cup thing, and someone informed me of the news, and I said, I gotta call you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live shortly to spill the beans. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's a big development there, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, the form has been poor. 1 win, so 8 games. So
Yeah, but I think the form across after the first 2 losses, kind of pulled it back, in my opinion. The last 6 games. What do you think?
yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't have pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have. Honestly.
Yeah, me too. And I think Jamaica has been very unlucky. Things have not gone their way, and like even in the game against the USA yesterday. See what I mean? You guys should have won the game, and even against El Salvador, Costa Rica. Jamaica should have got 3 points in all those games.
That's right, my friend.
But
Absolutely.
the stars just didn't align, man.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, that's big news, man. That is big news. And let's see who's gonna, take the helm. I'm pretty sure you have an idea already, but let's see. Let us see.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Man, I'll spill the beans.
All right, man. So enjoy your life. Thank you very much for picking up, and we talk soon, okay?
Yeah, bro. Okay, no problem.
All right, much love. Peace. All right, guys, that was Simon Preston from Reggae Boys Commentary, and just had to hit him up to make sure that everything's legit with that one. And apparently, it's true. So, wow, I'm here just about to talk about Africa, and the news coming in that Tapper Whitmore is about to get the sack. The board is about to make a decision. Let's see if it does happen. More to come on Tapper Theodore Whitmore when we get to the CONCACAF segment. All right. So big up to everybody in the house, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And we're going to get the thing started right now because we have a lot to go through. A whole lot to go through, man. We got to talk all confederations today. We got to summarize everything because Africa is pretty much wrapped up in the second round. Europe wrapped up. Only the playoffs to go. CONCACAF, 8 match days done. CONMEBOL, 14 match days done. And we have, what else we have? AFC, 6 match days done with 4 to go. So everything is taking shape, and we will know the 32 teams that will qualify for Qatar in March. So after March, too, I think the European playoffs is coming up, right? That's coming up after March, too. So April, May, June. We'll know in June. All right, so big up to John Burns. Thank you very much for the super chat. He says, even with a new coach, Jamaica can beat Mexico at home. Dom, you're working harder than a one-armed paper hanger with your World Cup video. I'm telling you, man, I was just saying that at the beginning of the video. I'm just going in, man, because there's so much to cover, and I'm the type of guy who I don't like when I don't get everything covered. So that's why I make sure that I cover everything as much as I could cover, I should say. I had a few more clips to put out, but today, man, I said I'm just gonna relax, man. I'm just gonna relax. You know when you're overwhelmed to the point where you just do nothing? That is exactly what I did today, man. That is what I did. I had to write out the format for today's live stream. Just the guide. Guys, I didn't write. I wrote down World Cup qualifiers daily number 26, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know how it is, man. So I'm just glad to be here right now to wrap everything up. And during the time between now and January, late January, there'll be a few more things coming. The AFCON is coming in January as well, so I'll be talking about that tournament. So there's going to be a lot to do. So Dane Richard says, Tapagon, only next, please, I beg. Wow, big sack in here. Jamaican manager, gone. Damn, do you think Tata Martino should bring the Olympic team in the qualifiers? Tata Martino has to actually start integrating more of the young players because apparently the players are not doing a goddamn thing. Big up to Sydney football. We have Alejandro in here. Alejandro, you must be a happy man. Oh my God, yo, when I saw the result, I didn't watch the game, but when I saw the result, I was like, wow, I know Alejandro is going to be happy about this result, man. Jesus. So, look, man, let's go. We got a lot to talk about. The 10 teams that's going into the playoffs for African 2022 World Cup qualifiers are confirmed, and we have a lot to discuss in terms of that. The teams are here, 40 teams, but from the 40, I can pick out the 10, but I won't do it that way. That was just for visual sake. We are gonna go all the way down to the matches that were played yesterday to just do a quick wrap up, go all the way down to the bottom, And we're going to just do a quick wrap up of the games that, who scored and so on and so forth. And then we are going to go to the table and just summarize everything and talk a bit about the third round. We won't stay forever on that, but we have to, just talk about it a little bit. So let us go, man. Let us go. Let us talk about that game right there. Egypt 2, Gabon 1. I'll be running down the games in the order that they are right there, just because, yeah. So, Egypt beating Gabon, as I expected. In that game, we had Mohamed Magdi in the 4th minute from the penalty spot. Jim Alevina, he equalized in the 54th minute. Then had a Johan Obiang own goal in the 75th minute there to give Egypt the lead. And then Dennis Bouanga got sent off in the 86th minute. Egypt, who had already qualified from Group F, won the final group game. And they finished on top of the table. 14 points, 4 wins, 2 draws. Remember, they had already sacked their manager, El Badri, already. And they called in Carlos Queiroz, who went on to get the job done, in a less tense manner. So Gabon 2nd, Libya 3rd, Angola 4th in the group. So in order, the next game, Mozambique 1, Malawi 0. That game was a dead rubber, and we don't have to go too deep into these teams, but they tried. So Limbikani Mzava scored an own goal for Mozambique in the 51st minute. They held on with the lead, and Mozambique won the game. Consolation win to finish 3rd in the group. Above Malawi, 4th. Ivory Coast 2nd, and Cameroon 1st. And do we have that game lined up next? Now, we're just going to go. Libya 1, Angola 1. I did predict a draw for that game. It ended in a draw. And in that game, we had Sanad Al Ouafali scoring a penalty in the 49th minute for Libya, and then Zini in the 81st minute for Angola. So Angola 4th, Libya 3rd, behind Gabon and Egypt, who go through to the next round. We go down to the game between Liberia, 3, Central African Republic 1. So both those countries got eliminated, and that was a dead rubber. So, yeah. In terms of that game, Marcus McCauley in the 2nd minute, Peter Wilson in the 8th, Isaac Ngoma for Central African Republic in the 61st, and then Peter Wilson again in the 74th minute. Liberia won the match 3-1 to finish 3rd in Group C, above Central African Republic, behind Cape Verde, and behind Nigeria, who topped the group to qualify for the 3rd round. Which brings us to the next game there. Algeria 2, Burkina Faso 2. Algeria qualified directly from Group A. They did what they had to do, but Burkina Faso didn't actually lay down and got walked over. They put out a really good performance in the group, and you could remember back in the 2014 World Cup qualifiers, these two teams met in the playoffs, and Algeria won 3-3 on the away goals rule. So even though Burkina Faso went unbeaten in the group, they still wasn't able to get the better of the Fennec Foxes once again. So in this game, Riyad Mahrez scored in the 21st minute, and then Zachariah Sonogo with a brilliant volley in the 37th, Sofiane Feghouli in the 68th, and then Issoufou Dayo from the penalty spot after Ben Lamry had brought down the attacker to put the game into a tense finish, but Algeria held on for the draw. And I think Algeria has been the more quality team, to be honest, in the group. And the current reigning African champions move on to the 3rd round. It would have been a sin if they had failed to go on to the final round and got eliminated, for real. So Nigeria won, Cabo Verde or Cape Verde won. So Cape Verde was able to put out a respectable performance as well and not lose against Nigeria in the game. But that's all Nigeria needed was a draw. and they move on to the next round. So Cape Verde put in a very good performance, like they did back in the 2018 World Cup cycle, but still not good enough for them to give themselves a chance to debut at the event. But guess what? Africa has 9 teams in 2026, so they could actually, try to qualify then. Victor Osimhen in the first minute, Stopira in the 6th. Game finished 1-1. Nigeria topped the group with 13 points. Cape Verde second with 11 points. And Nigeria move on to the final round like I did predict. Morocco 3, Guinea 0. That was a dead rubber. And I have a fun fact for you guys. Morocco actually hosted all their games. They played all their World Cup matches at home, which is the first time I think something like that has ever happened in, the history of the World Cup qualifiers. And when involving so many teams, because one team had a ban on their stadium, I think that was Guinea-Bissau, and the other Guinea had a coup d'etat going on in the country. So lucky for Morocco, who did not have to travel outside of their own country. And in one of the games against Guinea-Bissau, the Guinea-Bissau team even came down with a stomach flu, and all the players, about 6 players, were throwing up and shitting their cells in the hotel rooms. So some fishy stuff going on there. But Morocco, I think, were the better team throughout the group there, and they definitely deserve to move on to the final round. So 3-0, Ryan Mai in the 20th and the 29th, and Ayub El Kabi in the 60th. Ayub El Kabi has been one of the best players in World Cup qualifiers, I must say, and he do deserve maybe to start more games for Morocco. So from what I saw, he was mostly used off the bench. But I think in this game, he did get to start. And just because, what? It's a dead rubber game. You got to give the man more opportunities, in my opinion, there. And that's Vahid Halilhodzic in charge of Morocco. And he has since, isolate, like, let's say, he has kept Hakim Ziyech out of the Moroccan team. So we won't be seeing Hakim Ziyech in the future. Maybe not at the AFCON, but maybe if Morocco qualifies for the World Cup, they would have to work things out, because he would be a quality player that you could have to your disposal when you come up against more quality oppositions. So Tunisia 3, Zambia 1. Tunisia doing what it took to get them into the third round, and they didn't stutter whatsoever. They also were looking at the other game between Mauritania and Equatorial Guinea, but Equatorial Guinea failed to win, and Zambia failed to do what they needed to do, and Tunisia were a lot better. They didn't start out too well in the match, to be honest, but they did pick up. Kazri even missed a penalty, but they did pick up, and they were more rampant in the final third. So Isa Laidouni scored in the 18th minute, and Mohamed Drager in the 31st, Ali Malul in the 43rd. So Tunisia were 3-0 up at halftime before Fashan Sakala pulled one back in the 80th minute for Zambia. Tunisia qualified to the third round with 13 points. Equatorial Guinea finishing second with 11 points with their 1-1 draw against Mauritania. And Zambia, they finished third. Mauritania finishing fourth in the group. Which brings us to the game between Mauritania and Equatorial Guinea from Group B. In this game, Abubakar Kamara scored for Mauritania in the 23rd minute. They looked really bright. They really looked good. But Saul Koko equalized in the 58th minute for Equatorial Guinea as they finished second. Very promising performance by the Equatorial Guinea team. And they will look to try to make their debut in the next World Cup, where there's an expanded version up to 48 teams, 9 teams available from Africa. So that leaves us with one more game. Cameroon 1, Ivory Coast 0. And look, I was expecting the Ivory Coast to at least get a draw, but they messed up, man. They really messed up, and They were a shadow of the team that were on top of the table going into this game. Carl Toko Ikambi in the 21st minute, brilliant strike. I have to say that it was some poor defending by the Ivory Coast and allowed the ball to get put in for Carl Toko Ikambi, who is very, very clinical, man, and has been doing it for quite a few years for Cameroon, Lyon, and even when he had a brief stint down there in Villarreal. So Cameroon go through, and that's the only team that went through that I didn't predict to go through. So I got 9 out of 10 predictions correct from Africa in terms of the teams going into the third round. So I think that was some quality stuff. And yeah, I deserve a round of applause. So yeah, man, you know, clap for me. Quality stuff. So look, just to review the groups really quick, guys. Group A, Algeria move on to the next round. And they will be one of the seeded teams for sure. Then, as a matter of fact, let me actually, you know, let me make sure I pull up something with the teams that would actually be seeded and unseeded, and so I could give you guys some more info on that for sure. So yeah, the third round will be coming up. The draw will be on December 18th, and we will know. Well, there's nothing really concrete right now, but for the draw, the 10 teams from the second round will be drawn into 5 home and away ties. The winners of each fixture will qualify for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So I think what I need for this is some FIFA rankings. You see what I mean? If I get some FIFA rankings, I'll be able to let you guys know who could possibly face who. Because I could tell you off the top, but I don't really want to, guess. You don't want to guess. You want to give quality information. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, look, in terms of Africa, Algeria will definitely be one of the seeded teams. They're ranked 4th in Africa. They topped Group A, and that's above Burkina Faso, Niger, and Djibouti. As for Tunisia, who topped Group B, they are the second highest ranked team in Africa, ranked 27th in the world, and they will be one of the seeded teams. So they will avoid Algeria. The teams that they will avoid are Senegal, Morocco, Algeria, and Nigeria. And for Algeria, they will avoid Nigeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and Senegal. Okay? So, which means Tunisia and Algeria could face the likes of Egypt. We could get an Algeria versus Egypt, a Morocco versus Egypt. I would actually love to see that happens, because we got 3 Northern African countries in the seeded section, and then we have only 1 Northern African country in Egypt in the unseeded section. So the odds are stacked up against Egypt. I would love to see them play against one of their neighbors up there, seriously, and not against, not a Nigeria, nor a Senegal. I want to see maybe an Algeria versus Egypt. Ooh, that one will be good. So let us continue there. I don't mean to go off on a tangent there. But yeah, Nigeria, Group C, top in the group above Cape Verde, Liberia, and Central African Republic. They could face the likes of Egypt, Mali, Ghana, not Cote d'Ivoire, but Cameroon. So those are the possibilities there for Nigeria, or even a Congo DR, who are the lowest ranked team to qualify for the third round. So let's give it up for Congo DR, you know what I mean? I don't think you'd want to draw Congo DR, though. They might actually spring a surprise. Remember, they qualified in 1974 as Zaire, so it won't be a debut for them overall, but for, the new name, yes. Group D, Cameroon. Wow. Top in the group ahead of Cote d'Ivoire, the host of the upcoming African Cup of Nations. Mozambique 3rd. Malawi comes in 4th. Then we go on to Group E, another unseeded team along with Cameroon. Mali. I would love to see Mali qualify. I did predict Mali to qualify. But if they are to qualify, I think for Mali, the team that they would want to draw is Tunisia. I think Tunisia is the most beatable team amongst the seeded teams. Or they might just be the most dangerous. But from what I've seen over the last few games, yeah. Some may fancy Nigeria as well, where they've been very inconsistent under Gernot Rohr, but we know they're very powerful at the same time, right? So, good luck to Mali. Let's see who they draw. Do want to do a mock draw for these and see, who I get. Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda eliminated. Egypt in Group F. Gabon second, Libya third, Angola fourth. Egypt, the odds are stacked up against them. The last time they actually entered into the third round from this format, they got destroyed. They got destroyed even after dominating the group stages. And we did talk about this in a previous live stream. And we will take a look at the round again from 2014, just to bring up some bad memories to the Egyptian fans who are watching right now. You see what I mean? I don't mean to do it, but you see what I'm saying? I got to keep things spicy up in here. You feel me? Definitely. So, yeah, let's keep it moving here. We have Group G, Ghana, ahead of South Africa. This one was a very controversial one, and I think the South African FA, they are trying to get this game replayed. They're trying to, get FIFA's attention and trying to get this game replayed because I honestly think that the penalty should not have been given. There was contact. Initially, it looked like there was no contact, but there was some contact, but it's not enough contact to get, for the player to go down in the way he went down. And it's a contact sport. You see what I'm saying? And if you're going to go down for every little thing like that, it is ridiculous. It is really, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. And the South Africans feel that they were robbed and they're seeking a World Cup qualifier replay after questionable decisions in the defeat versus Ghana. And this is a real thing. This is just not my opinion. This is a real thing. This is the opinion of thousands, if not millions of people in South Africa and across the world. Robbery! Daniel Amarte, man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. But anyways, Ghana topped the group anyways, and South Africa second. I doubt there will be a replay of this match. That will be way too controversial, especially if South Africa goes on to overturn their fortunes and qualify. You see what I mean? So, yeah, it's just best to leave it that way. And Ethiopia coming third, Zimbabwe fourth. Group H, Senegal, as I expected, they went on, they dominated the group, and they topped Group H ahead of Togo, who qualified in 2006, Namibia and Congo are potential debutants in the future. Congratulations to Senegal. Listen, they are the number one ranked team in Africa as we speak, and I think they will fancy playing against anybody. You see what I'm saying? So we move on to the next group, Group I, Morocco, topping the group ahead of Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, and Sudan. Morocco are the only team that went on to win all 6 games. Congratulations to Morocco on their perfect record. They only conceded 1, scored 20, and they were at the last World Cup as well, where they did put on a show in a group that had Spain, Portugal, and Iran, from my recollection, and they look good. They looked really, really good. So they will be hoping to have Yusuf Enezairi fit for the World Cup because he's currently out injured. He was a live wire back in 2018. So Group J, there's also some developments from Group J, where Congo DR topped the group ahead of Benin, Tanzania, and Madagascar. But I did run into an article that said that there could be a situation where there was a situation with the Congo DR game. I just had it. Okay, Congo DR They beat Benin 2-0 to qualify. I'll share this one with you, right? I'll share this one with you from my African source over on Twitter. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. So, DR Congo beat Benin 2-0 to qualify to the playoffs, but DR Congo made 4 substitutions at 4 different stoppages in the second half. Benin have submitted a protest, and DR Congo could very well be disqualified. Teams are allowed to make up to 5 changes, but only during 3 stoppages, which means the African officials absolutely does not know what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? It's a total mess over there in Africa in terms of the officiating. So I'm not surprised, though. I'm really not surprised by a situation like that. There's been some weird decisions that's been made in Africa. Some really dodgy penalties, some non-calls, and I'm telling you, man, they need to step their game up. And next time, they need to be VAR. It need to be VAR. I didn't even check to see if there'll be VAR at the African Cup of Nations, but I hope they do, because else it'll be a mess. It'll be a mess at the AFCON if there's no VAR. I'm telling you that. But that's the latest development there in terms of Africa and in terms of, the update there on those 2 controversial groups, Congo DR's group and Ghana. So let's go back to the FIFA website there. That's it for Africa. That's my roundup. And thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. We got a lot more to talk about. So don't go nowhere. This is the place to be when it comes to talking World Cup qualifiers across the globe. Not just for one country or one confederation, but all across the globe. So we're done with Africa. We know the 10 teams, and we know the potential matchups that we could actually see in the 3rd round. Okay, so yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I might actually put together a little video of my dream draw, and then I'll do a mock draw as well. You see, let's pair up all the teams and let's give a dream draw, man. That'll be fun. That definitely will be fun. So big up to everybody in the house. I appreciate you all. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Big up to the boy Alistair Jeff 8744, Pierre Paquete. We got Prime Time in the house. Tanner Wilson in the house. Palomo, Asian Sensational. A Doused, the GOAT, CJ2K in the house. Bethel, how are you doing, bro? Who else we got in here? Johnny Longs, Jonathan Doru, Video James, Josh Byrne in the house. We got John Byrne in the house too, don't we? Yep. We got Josh Byrne and John Burns in the house. So who else we got in here, man? Adam, how are you doing, Adam? Sydney Football, Alejandro Loaiza, B. Illich. If y'all still in here, big up to everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. Anyways, what we're going to be doing right about now is take some questions. What do you guys have to say? If you have anything to ask, drop it in the chat. I do appreciate it. Yeah, talk to me. So, what do you guys have to say? Harrison Cyril in the house. Online school in the house. How are you guys doing? Talk to me. Will Argentina versus Brazil be replayed? Shadrach Dorsey. I have something for you on that, Shadrach. Well, I ran into something that said that Argentina, who qualified yesterday because all the other teams messed up and Argentina drew their game, that Argentina could well be given 3 points for that game against Brazil simply because the game kicked off and there was 5 minutes played. So that's what's going on right now. It might actually be given. And I also have something on that for you right there. But it's actually not in English. You see what I mean? But yeah, they might just give the game to Argentina, which would be rather inconsequential in my opinion. It won't even matter. because both Brazil and Argentina have already qualified for the World Cup. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know. We have complaints filed to get those games disqualified. Okay, let me see what else you guys have in terms of questions. Let me see. All right. CAF official says Video James didn't mess up. In all leagues, they are supposed to allow illegal substitutions. Happen in the Bundesliga, EPL, etc. In all leagues, they are supposed to allow illegal substitution. Are you for real? They're not. You're supposed to make sure it happen in 3 intervals and not 4. That is actually against the rules. All right? So, with that being said, man, Mate Balen is asking, are you still cooperating with the football pharaoh? Any joint projects in the future? Oh, what a great question. What a great question. The thing about the football pharaoh thing, we were supposed to link up again before the November games, but both of us got busy and we couldn't get it done. You see what I mean? So that's it. That is what it is in terms of that update. But Football Fair and I have been cool since God knows when, since about 2017. So we're still the same. You see what I mean? And we haven't got to see each other since 2018. And when the pandemic came on, it made things even worse and everything. But I have to try to see if I link up with Football Fair. We drive to where he is, or we meet each other halfway and just find a park, sit down in a park and have a chat again, man. You see what I mean? So let's see. But good question. So John Burns, can the U.S. beat El Salvador in the U.S.? Can Honduras beat El Salvador at home? El Salvador might have nothing to play for when they meet Canada. Well, look, we'll get to CONCACAF soon, but those teams down at the bottom are looking like it's all over, man. All over for them. So what we're going to be doing, guys, thanks for your few questions. We're going to move on. We got a lot to go through, and we're already 37 minutes in. And let us go and let's talk AFC. AFC. Low-key, one of the, well-organized confederations. They have VAR. You know what I'm saying? They're just neat. Not the most exciting games, but they know what they're doing in terms of organization, man. You see what I mean? Things are more organized. Not like CONCACAF in Africa. Let me take a sip of my water, man. Guys, if you haven't yet, like the video, make sure you do so. AD's asking me, what's my Confederation's rankings? Confederation ranking. Obviously, UEFA is the number 1 confederation in terms of the strength of the teams. I'll say South America second. It's difficult, though. I'm going to say Africa third. You got more big teams in Africa that could, do some damage. Fourth, I'm going to say Asia. I'm going to say Asia with CONCACAF coming in 5th. And the reason why I go for 5th for CONCACAF is because of all the Caribbean teams and, you know what I'm saying, just the minnows that just bring the confederations down. And Oceania, of course, last. That's my take on strength there. Thanks. Great question. So, AFC, let's go. Let us go. Asian Football Confederation. We're in round 3 right now, where there's 12 teams remaining grouped into two teams. Grouped into 2 groups of 6. I don't know why I said 2 teams, though. But 2 teams from each group will qualify directly, while the 3rd place team will go into the 4th round, and the winner will go into the Intercontinental playoffs. All right. So Look, let's just go through each and every game. I'll let you guys know if I get my predictions right. And then, we'll just discuss the confederations a bit. Because it's still yet not decided. Still got 4 games to go. And it's getting there. It's really getting there. So let us scroll down to the matches that were played yesterday on Super Tuesday, the 16th of November 2021. Let's go. Let us go. Hold your horses there, Dom. All right. Vietnam 0, Saudi Arabia 1. So I did tune into this game. No, is that the right game? Yeah, it is. It is. I thought I could remember Saudi Arabia scoring a second goal, but I think it was chalked off. Fahad Al-Muallad, I think, had scored, but it got chalked off. So Saudi Arabia 1, Vietnam 0. My prediction for this one was a 2-0 win for Saudi Arabia. Saleh Al-Shari with the goal in the 31st minute. Vietnam, of course, they do show some promise, but yet again, they lose by a close margin. And Saudi Arabia pick up 3 more points, which is very, very important in the grand scheme of things. It's fair to say that Saudi Arabia will qualify for the World Cup. And prove me wrong, because for some reason, I don't know what it was, but I did not predict Saudi Arabia to qualify. And I like Saudi Arabia. I do have quite a bit of Saudis subscribe to my channel. And for some reason, I just didn't think they'll qualify. But they are going to qualify, because with that win, they go up to 16 points. And we did discuss the points tally needed to get a direct spot into Qatar. And 16 might just do it. But the fact that there's Japan and Australia that's going to be fighting as well, you might need a little bit more. But it's fair to say that Saudi Arabia, with the way they're playing and the fixtures they got left, they will qualify directly. They do have to play Oman. They will be at home. They have Japan. They have China. And then they got to play Australia. So that game against Australia could well be a game where if Saudi Arabia defeats Australia, they might doom Australia into the playoffs or even eliminate them. Who knows? But at thing stand, it seems as if, it's going to be a scrap between Japan and Australia for that direct spot and that playoff spot. So with China and Oman to play, remaining games, I think Saudi Arabia should actually defeat those 2 teams and go on to qualify for Qatar 2022. Like, they qualified back in 2018 for Russia. So that'll be it for that game. Congrats to Hervenard's men, the Falcons, and all the best in Qatar. I think you guys have made it, man. It's not set in stone, but I'm pretty sure that it will make it. It will take a catastrophic meltdown for Saudi Arabia to miss the World Cup. They would at least get a playoff spot. So the next game, Lebanon 0, the UAE 1. I was watching this game and it was very harsh on Lebanon, man. They were playing well, and then they just conceded that goal, and it just knocked the stuffing out of them. So Lebanon, I think they deserve a lot more from this game. 85th minute penalty. It was a high boot, deemed to be a high boot. It took a long time to give it, and I think they should have just let it go and just let the game finish 0-0. Because I did predict a 1-1 draw for this game. The first match finished 0-0, but it was Ali Makbout who stepped up in the 85th minute to dispatch. I think that was actually his 70th. He's up there in the international goals. I think he got might be about 80 if I'm not mistaken. So he's got a whole lot of international goals, man. And I'll let you know exactly how many international goals he has, like roughly. Yeah, he does have 80 international goals in 98 caps, and he's only 31 years old. So he'll definitely be one of the players that will go on to get a century of international goals like Cristiano Ronaldo and the great Ali Daei of Iran. So Ali Makbout, that's a big 3 points there in the grand scheme of things. because the UAE, prior to that, all they were doing were drawing their games. So they go up to 6. They go up to 6 points in third, above Lebanon in the playoff spot. It's a long way to go in terms of catching South Korea and Iran, but they headed in the right direction. So that's it for that match from Group A, and we're doing it in the order that we have it on the screen right now, and then we'll go through each and every group and, just talk permutations and summarize the group. China won, Australia won. This is a disappointing performance by Australia. I was watching this game and they looked so disjointed, and they allowed China to get back in the game, giving up that penalty there. So Australia, when you have Japan on your heels, you can't be dropping points to China. You gotta beat China, just like you did in round one. You gotta beat China. Mitchell Duke header in the 38th minute, and then Wu Lei from the penalty spot in the 70th minute. It was a pretty even game in terms of shots at goal, shots on target. Australia did have more of the ball naturally, but China did well enough to pick up a point. And with that 1 point, Australia drop out the automatic spot into third. They now have 11 points. And China go up to 5 points, which is very, very good for them, to stay alive. I don't think it's enough, but listen, let's say they win their remaining 4 matches, which is not highly probable, but you never know. They could give themselves a shot into Qatar. So for Australia, it's going to be very, very rough for them to get that automatic spot unless they, they turn their fortunes around, because they were actually on 11 successive wins, and then they lost to Japan, drew to Saudi Arabia, and drew to China in their last 3 games. So they are currently in a slump, and they would want to pick things up when they play Vietnam on January 27th. Then they have Oman, and I think those are 2 games that they could actually pick up 6 points in. But the Oman game is going to be very difficult, and you can't trust this Vietnam team. But what's really against Australia here, guys, is the fact that they play Japan and Saudi Arabia in March. Those are their last 2 games. And I don't know if they're going to get 6 points from those games, and by then it might just be too late in terms of qualifying directly, and Australia might just have to be going through the playoffs again like they did for 2018. So yeah, Australia, man, you screw things up there, and you have yourself to blame pretty much. So well done by China. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to allow themselves to just be pushovers in the group, even though they won't qualify and the whole Chinese Super League project failed. They still putting up a fight. Iraq 0, Korea Republic 3. And by the way, I didn't predict China to get anything from Australia, but they did. I did predict for this Iraq game for Iran to defeat them. What was my prediction here? Iraq, Saudi Arabia. Not Saudi Arabia. Iraq, Korea Republic. 1-0 win. But Saudi Arabia run to an emphatic 3-0 victory here. So well done by South Korea. And they continue their charge towards Qatar 2022. So in this game, home game for Iraq, and it was actually played in Qatar, Al Gharafa Stadium. Lee Jae-sung in the 33rd minute for South Korea. And then Son of Tottenham, not Hotspur, they're not hot at all, scored in the 74th minute from the penalty spot. And then Jeong Woo-young in the 79th minute, convincing win over Iraq. So Iraq have not performed badly so far, but they just have not been winning games. They got 4 draws and 2 losses in their first 4 games. They're still in contention to get that 3rd place spot that will put them into the playoffs, And I think with 4 matches left, guys, that is pretty much what the teams in the bottom 4 are playing for right now. the UAE, Lebanon, Iraq, and Syria, who I'll get to very soon. They'll only be playing for, the playoff spot. And I'll talk about that when I talk about the respective groups. So, well done by South Korea. They go up to 14 points. They're second, 2 points behind Iran on top of the table. But it doesn't matter because the top 2 teams in the group will ultimately qualify. So, well done by Paulo Bento and his boys. The Taeguk Warriors. Seems like they're going into another World Cup finals. So we move on here. We got Oman, Japan. We got to talk Syria, Iran as well. So Japan did go on to get their revenge over Oman like I predicted. And for this game, I predicted a 2-1 win. It ended a 0-0. So well done Japan, man, well done. And they left it till very, very late. Jonia Uto in the 81st minute from the central area of the box, and that was a good strike. And Oman yet again put out a very gritty performance in terms of defending, but in terms of the final third, not so good. Only 4 shots at goal, none on target compared to Japan. 14, 4 on target. So with that win, Japan leapfrogs Australia into second on 12 points, that direct qualification spot. And we could see a situation where Japan, could get the better of Saudi Arabia and get very, very close to surpassing them if Saudi Arabia do go on to drop points. So even though Japan stuttered with those 2 losses there, yeah, they have bounced back as we all expected them to do. So Japan is second in the group, and for Oman, they are 4th. They do have 7 points. Australia has 11 points, so it's going to be between, I think, Oman, Japan, Australia now for, see who's going to drag each other down into that playoff spot or climb up into the automatic World Cup qualification spot there. So with that being said, we do have one more game to talk about, and that's the game between Syria and Iran. And I have to say, this is the shadow of the Syrian team that made the playoff back in 2018, man. They look really bad. They do not look good in this game. I'm like, what am I seeing here? This is not the Syrian team that promised so much and almost got the better of Australia to go into the Interconfederation playoffs. So for Iran, where they could have scored even more, Sardar Azmoun scored in the 33rd minute. Ehsan Haisafi from the penalty spot in the 42nd. And Ali Goli Zadeh in the 89th. That was a really good goal. Iran are heading to Qatar. It's fair to say that that's going to happen. 16 points. Korea Republic 14. Iran are actually 10 points away from the third place team, which means they are not catchable. With 4 games left, a maximum of 12, the UAE, from their track record, will drop points. So it's fair to say that Iran have qualified for Qatar 2022. Not mathematically yet, but the next game that the UAE plays is against Syria, and if they fail to win, Iran will qualify automatically, even without kicking a ball. So, pretty sure, according to my calculations, because the UAE has 6 points. If they get, let's say they get 1 point, then they'll only be able to get a maximum of 16, and Iran has 16 points. So, yeah, pretty on point with that one. So, Iran, yeah, they could say they're in Qatar. Saudi Arabia, to a certain extent, yeah. South Korea, who are 8 points ahead of UAE, definitely. And Group A is pretty much, decided. So, well done. What we're going to do, we're going to scroll down to the bottom here and take a look at the groups. You guys going to see the visual here of the groups. And I'm just going to run through some fixtures that's going to come up next year, so you know for sure. Okay, look, we just talked about Group A. Iran will qualify for the World Cup. Their next games are the derby against Iraq, where they destroyed Iraq the first time around 3-0. They play the UAE, and these are home games for Iran. And then they play South Korea, where they drew before. And all Iran needs is a point, and they'll be fine. So, look, Iran, not saying they're going to win all those games, but I'm pretty sure they'll win at least 2 of those matches and draw the other, or maybe even lose the other one, but they'll be fine by then. So, Iran, you could pack your bags. You're going to Qatar. So, for South Korea, it's the same. It is the same. They're only 2 points behind Iran, but I'm pretty sure that South Korea will qualify for yet another World Cup, where they have been one of the most consistent teams in terms of Asian World Cup qualifiers. So their next games are against Lebanon, Syria, Iran, and the UAE. They'll get something. They will get something from those games against Lebanon and Syria and South Korea in there. But what's interesting in this group is who's going to get that third place team to go, third place spot to get into the third round. The UAE are looking good. Lebanon are looking good for it, and Iraq are looking good for it. And if Syria do have somewhat of a rebirth next year, they can fight. So all 4 teams are still alive in terms of the third round, right? So we're not going to get into third round permutations for those teams because it's going to take us a whole lot of time. But let's go over to Group B, which is the more interesting of the 2 groups right now after 6 match days. Saudi Arabia, as I mentioned, should go on to top the group, but with 4 matches left and Australia being right there, you never know what's going to happen, guys. You never know. But it's between Saudi Arabia, Japan, and Australia for those 2 direct spots. And as I mentioned before, it might just be Australia with the odds stacked up against them to, get that third place spot. Oman with 4 points behind Australia will be hoping that the Aussies drop some serious points for them to catch up. And when I say drop serious points, Australia has to play both Japan and Saudi Arabia. So let's say they lose those games, right? Oman do have Australia. So if Oman gets something against Australia and Australia only manages to get 4 points in their next 4 games, they will go up to 15 points. While for Oman, let's say they get 1 against Australia. Oman then have to play Saudi Arabia. They do have China and they do have Vietnam. So Oman could really put the squeeze on Australia here if they manage to beat them. Because I think this Oman team might just beat China and Vietnam. And that's 6 points to go up to 13. So Australia got to really get their act together. Oman plays Saudi Arabia. They could get a draw from that game. You see what I'm saying? So Group B is really interesting right about now. And Australia could find themselves in the mud. All right? For Vietnam, guys, Vietnam are eliminated. They're eliminated. They're not winning any games. Most likely not. They haven't done so. They have shown no indication of winning any games. But mathematically, they could still get the playoff spot. But realistically, they won't qualify for Qatar as they could only get a maximum of 12 points. Japan has 12. And they are not getting a playoff spot. For China, they could still get that playoff spot, so they are not out of it yet. But Vietnam, I think, is the first team from Asia to be disqualified, to be eliminated, I should say, not disqualified. Let me use the right names, right words. So that's pretty much my update on Asia. Didn't expect Saudi Arabia to do so well, but they have. Japan have, got somewhat of a rebirth there after, those losses. And Australia are struggling right about now. And for Group A, Iran and Korea Republic, pretty much cut and dry for them. They will qualify for Qatar. And the other 4 teams will scrap it out for that playoff spot. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. What are your thoughts on AFC 2022 World Cup qualifiers? All right. So, big up to everybody, man. We have Adam. What if Australia miss out on a World Cup? That'd be a big upset. Yeah, it will be a big setback for Australian football, for real. And I think Australia, they'll be fine. They love to do things the hard way as well. And they might just come in third in the group, go into the playoffs, beat the team from the next group, go into the Interconfederation playoffs, and pick up a victory like they did last time around. That's what they love to do. Guys, if you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you do so. If you have any questions for me, leave it in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Adam, I mean cold spur, bro. Very, very cold. That team is not hot at all. So, big up to Harrison Searle, who's saying, if the Socceroos come third, I think they can beat the third place team in a Group 8. Plus, if they get drawn with New Zealand or a CONCACAF team, I think they can get through. Would we see AFC versus OFC this time around? I don't know. I really, what's the format in which they pick the Interconfederation playoff, though? You see what I mean? I don't know the format. It might just be random. It might just be random, man. See what I mean? It might just be random. But if what we could actually do really quick is we could take a look at the Interconfederation playoffs, you know what I mean? And see what has been used over the last couple qualification cycles. You see? Yeah, that might take a little. That take too long. I don't really want to do that. That'll take some time right now. Let me see. For the 2014 edition, let me see something. Let me see if I find. All right. For 2014, we had AFC versus CONMEBOL. Jordan took on Uruguay and Mexico took on New Zealand for 2014, right? And let me see if I got anything else here in terms of the playoffs, right? For 2018, we had CONCACAF versus AFC. Australia beat Honduras and New Zealand took on Peru from South America. So we won't have OFC versus CONMEBOL again. We may have OFC versus AFC or OFC versus CONCACAF. Or we could have CONCACAF versus CONMEBOL and AFC versus OFC. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. And let us go back to 2010. 2010, we had OFC versus AFC in 2010. So it might just be coming back where New Zealand beat Bahrain and CONCACAF played CONMEBOL where Uruguay beat Costa Rica. So we might just be having, a repeat of that. That might just be the format there. And is anyone noticing a pattern? Let's go to 2006 where CONCACAF played AFC. Trinidad and Tobago defeated Bahrain and CONMEBOL took on the OFC. Okay? So 2006 is what happened in 2018. It was the same matchup for 2018. So that has already come back around. You see what I'm saying? Which means, let's go back and see if there's a pattern. 2002, in the playoffs, we had UEFA versus AFC and OFC versus CONMEBOL because an Asian team hosted the World Cup. This time around, an Asian team is hosting the World Cup, but still, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter, right? So, look, OFC versus CONMEBOL. That happened way too many times in the last couple of years. That happened about 3 times. Don't think we'll see that again. And if we go to 1998, we had a game. We had a playoff here. Let me see. We had a playoff tournament here, and Australia versus Iran. Australia versus Iran, basically. Okay. And Iran, I could remember, qualified for 1998, where they did beat the USA. So there was actually, the winner of the playoffs for OFC and the winner of the playoffs for, well, let me see. Pretty confusing, but Iran took on Australia in the playoff. That's what we know. And it was a big crowd, man. 128,000 in Tehran. Big crowd. So, and then the return leg in Australia, 85,000 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the MCG. So, Iran got the better of Australia on the away goals rule there. So, awesome stuff. But let's see what we got, though. Let's see what we got. And whoever brought this up, thank you very much. Yeah, that's Harrison. Harrison, thanks, bro. So, yeah. What we got, man? What we got? Big up to Joel Lescano in the house. Prime time. Kevin Kutz in the house. Alistair Jeff. Tanner Wilson. Smith Yoon. Very, familiar names, man. Sydney Football. Yas 7 Men. R.A. It's a random draw, says R.A. No, it's not random, says Alistair Jeff. Is it AFC facing CONCACAF, says A. Doust? Nobody knows, man. It's a secret. No one knows. Okay. Mr. Perido Rito says, LOL. What is Vietnam doing here? They should return to the AFF Suzuki Cup this December. Southeast Asian football sucks. Be nice. Big up to Mark T. I think they draw random balls, kind of like they do the groups. Any team could play any other one. Nice. Love it. So, big up to John Burns. Thanks again. It is random picking the teams for the Intercontinental playoffs at Dominic Rich, but they need to see if Oceania will get any games played. They will in that mini playoff. Or if they don't, New Zealand would actually be the team coming through. And I might actually do something like that, Who knows? Maybe I'll do something like that. So, look. Let me see if there's any indication here that says the word random, right? Oh, okay. Let me see. All right. So, back in 2002, it says the 4 teams from the 4 confederations, AFC, CONMEBOL, OFC, and UEFA, were drawn into 2 ties. The ties themselves were not drawn, but were allocated by FIFA as first round randomly drawn runner-up versus third round playoff winner, and fourth round final round winner versus round robin 5th place. The draw for the order in which the 2 matches were played were held on the 31st of August 2001 during a FIFA Congress in Zurich, Switzerland. So let's go to the 2018 event and just to verify to see if there was any type of mini draw, right? Let me see. Just so that we verify things. All right, so the format, right? The draw for the Interconfederation playoff was held as part of the 2018 FIFA World Cup preliminary draw on the 25th of July 2015. All right? So the 4 teams from the 4 confederations, OFC, CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, and OFC, were drawn into 2 ties. There was no seeding. All right? So there was a draw. And there will be a draw. So the 4 teams will be thrown into a ball. A ball, and then into a bowl. And then they would just pick out the teams that's going to play each other, basically. So, yeah. Mark T, you got it right. And, yeah, man. Appreciate that. You guys are the best. You guys really are the best, man. So, what we're going to do right now, guys, we're going to move on to the next confederations. But I'm going to take a sip of water right now. All right. It's Kiri, not Zurich. Oh, man, I'm speaking English, so it's pretty hard for me to pronounce things in Switzerland the right way. Zurich! Yeah, we do say Zurich in English, though. So, what we're going to be doing, guys, we're going to move on. We got a lot to talk about. and I'm already tired because I've been so busy over the last week, and you know what I mean? It ain't easy to talk for an hour straight, you know. So look, let's move on to CONMEBOL. Let's talk CONMEBOL. 10 teams. Argentina, Brazil, both have already qualified. Colombia, Uruguay, Bolivia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Paraguay, Chile, and Peru still has to scrap it out for 2 direct spots plus a playoff spot. Who's going to get them? We'll find out. But let's analyze what's going on down in South America, the CONMEBOL Confederation. So let's go. Let's start the games that happened yesterday, the 16th of November. And then what we're going to be doing, we're going to talk the table. We're going to talk permutations. We're going to talk who has the better chances. All that good stuff. All right, so let's scroll down and let's talk about these games, man. There were some shocking results, I have to say. Results that I never expected to see. And I'm so disappointed in some of these teams. I will reveal the teams that I'm disappointed in and the teams that I've been really impressed with. All right, so let us start with that first game there. Bolivia 3, Uruguay 0. I predicted a 2-1 win for Uruguay. You know what I'm saying? Somewhat of a, an unlikely win in La Paz because, La Paz with the altitude, city up in the mountains there, very picturesque. It's very difficult to play. You see what I'm saying? But I expected Uruguay under Oscar Tabarez, one of the oldest managers currently still left in world football. Not older than Mircea Lucescu, though. But I expected them to bounce back, seeing the position that they're currently in. But tell me why Uruguay went to La Paz and absolutely got destroyed by Bolivia to keep Bolivia's World Cup hopes alive as well. So it wasn't only Uruguay with their backs against the wall, but it was also Bolivia. And they did what they needed to do. W. Juan Carlos Arce in the 38th minute, Marcelo Martins Moreno in the 45th, and he did go on to miss a penalty as well. But Juan Carlos Arce in the 79th minute for 3, and then Camilo Algarañas. Oh, take your time and say the name. Got sent off in the 74th minute, man. What a disappointing performance by Uruguay. They did get 17 shots at goal, 4 on target. But, with Cavani absent, Luis Suarez not even starting this game, it's weird, man. It is weird what's going on with this Uruguay team at the moment. But all credit goes to Bolivia, though. They have picked up some solid results lately. And with that win, Bolivia are 8th, only 1 point behind Uruguay. But the crazy thing is, there's only 4 points that separate the 4th place team, which is a direct spot, and the team that's 9th. So it's really tight in CONMEBOL. It's tight in CONCACAF too, but it's tight in CONMEBOL for those remaining spots. Maybe not the 3rd spot where we talk about that's currently occupied by Ecuador, but that 4th spot and the playoff spot, it's going to be really, really tight, just like in 2018 where it came down to the last day. And with 4 match days left, this one could just go down to the wire, baby. So, well done by Bolivia, man. 15 points. They're in with a shout. 2 points away from that direct spot. Guys, that would be absolutely nuts if Bolivia goes on to win their upcoming matches and qualify directly for Qatar, making a comeback to the World Cup for the first time since 1994. It's about time, Bolivia. Make it happen. Make it happen, man. We want to see a bit of crisis amongst some of these other countries. We like crisis. Remember back in 2018 when Chile didn't qualify after winning back-to-back Copa Americas? Yeah, so, the continental winners does not always have to qualify for the World Cup there, though. So, well done by Cesar Farias and his boys in green, Bolivia, on picking up that big win against Uruguay. Once Bolivia are at home, they got hope. Trust me, they got hope. So, with that being said, the next game, Venezuela 1, Peru 2. And look, Pedro Gallardo, I'm telling you, bro, listen, you should be a national hero, bro, because you saved that penalty to give Peru that 3 points, and it was it was great. I'm telling you, man, it was great. We know Gallardo is a very, very quality goalkeeper as well. So Gianluca Lapadula, who's scoring a lot these days, in the 18th minute, and Darwin Machis in the 52nd. I was actually watching this game when he scored, and I was saying to myself, God damn, Peru, you lose to Bolivia, you're in a lot of trouble, man. But Christian Cueva scored the winner in the 65th minute, and as I said, Venezuela did get a penalty that was well saved by Pedro Gallardo. And look, Venezuela at home dominated in terms of possession and shots at goal, but it still wasn't enough to get the better of the Roji Blancos of Peru, still under Ricardo Gareca, who looked a worried man, you know. He looked really, really worried, but at the end of the day, what he felt was relief. 3 points for Peru. Awesome stuff, man. And most of the guys that are in the Peruvian team, you know, remnants of that team that qualify for the 2018 event. And when I say that, I'm talking about Christian Cueva, Yoshima Yotun, Renato Tapia. You have Andre Carrillo, Luis Advincula. You know, you have Cristian Ramos. I could remember scoring a thumping header back in, you know, around that time. And you got the likes of Abram and Traco and Gayesi. The team has a lot of continuity. And they're not that old. You see what I mean? Carlos Zambrano comes to mind. Jefferson Farfan comes to mind. And they have just been a quality outfit, man. And well done to Peru. With that being said, they put themselves right back into contention to qualify for Qatar in 5th. That's a playoff spot for Peru. 17 points, leapfrogging Chile and Uruguay, which is absolutely ridiculous because those teams were 3 points ahead, well, 2 points ahead of Peru before the game started, and now Peru has a 1 point advantage. But it's going to be very difficult, man. It is going to be very tight for those, let's say, the 4th place and the 5th place for the playoff. It's going to be very, very tight. Remember, Peru did get the playoff spot where they defeated New Zealand in 2018. So, for the 2018 World Cup, I should say, rather. So, well done, man. Well done for Peru there, and all the best in the upcoming games that we'll talk about when I'm done running through these matches. This is a very disappointing result. Colombia 0, Paraguay 0. I expected Colombia with their back against the wall to actually get something more than a point against Paraguay. But it's still good. It is still good. It is still good because they go up to 4th. They qualified right about now. Fair to them, they qualified right now. But it's tight. You could have gotten a cushion over Peru. It's tight. It is really tight. And oh, guys, with that being said, we just talked about Venezuela. They could only get a maximum of 19 points, which means Venezuela pretty much eliminated. Pretty much eliminated. The next match day, they will be mathematically eliminated for sure. Mathematically eliminated, where if they fail to win, they definitely will be out. And they have Argentina to play. They got Uruguay, Colombia. They do have a game against Bolivia with, you know, they might fancy their chances. But what Venezuela does, what's their job is to be a banana peel. That is it. That is all they do in CONMEBOL, is F things up for teams trying to qualify like they did for Paraguay back in 2018. And talk about Paraguay, man. That's a big point to pick up against Colombia, which you're back against the wall. The main thing that happened in this game, the only event, Andres Cubas sent off in the 84th minute. But look, a dominant performance by Colombia with 14 shots, 2 on target. Paraguay, 8 shots, none on target. Colombia with 65% of the ball. But it's quite disappointing, man. This run of draws and losses is quite disappointing. Colombia could have qualified for the World Cup already. 0-0 against Paraguay. 1-0 loss to Brazil. 0-0 against Ecuador. 0-0 against Brazil. 0-0 against Uruguay. What is up with all this, nails? What are you? Building a house? Are you guys roofers? What is going on here? You're supposed to put in nails in coffins, man. You see what I'm saying? Not picking up 0-0 draws in matches. This is absolutely terrible, seeing the kind of attacking players that they have. So across the last 5 games, Colombia has not scored a single goal, which is absolutely mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Could I say that again? It is shocking. And you could even go back in November where they got smashed by Ecuador 6-1. So it has been a very, very weird World Cup qualifying campaign by Colombia. But for some reason, they still find themselves in a direct spot to Qatar, right? It is crazy. It is crazy. It seems like CONMEBOL eating itself alive right now. So nothing else to add in that game apart from Paraguay are still alive with 13 points, with only 4 points separating them from a direct spot, with Colombia there. So Paraguay, you still got hope. Still hope, but they themselves have not been doing well at all. Not scoring enough goals. Have only won 2 matches out of 14. And that's not the type of form that gets you to a World Cup. Colombia, guys, have only won 3 games, which is absolutely ridiculous. 3. Wow. Do you guys believe that? 3 matches won by Colombia. Oh man. Duvan Zapata and Miguel Boya and Roger Martinez, and you got Luis Muriel. All these guys, Cuadrado, James, Falcao, you name it, Luis Diaz. And these guys are not scoring no goals. Somebody's in trouble here. Manager is under a lot of pressure right now. Listen, Ronaldo Rueda, get your act together, okay? And I know the Colombians share the same sentiment. And we're going to move on, guys. We're going to move on. We have 2 more games. Argentina 0, Brazil 0. I told you guys that this game was going to end in a draw. Guys, I didn't even bother watching this game because what was actually going on is the CONCACAF games. And I was like, I'm not wasting my time watching these guys fool around with each other. Seriously. The biggest thing that happened in this game, Vinicius missed a chance. I think there was a crossbar hit by Fred, and Otamendi elbowed Rafinha in his mouth. And that was pretty much it. It was even in terms of possession, even in terms of shots. It was about 41 fouls. It was not a very attractive game of football, you see. But it was a big event. It's Argentina versus Brazil. And the 2 teams who have qualified to Qatar cancel each other out again. Look, they played. When was that? Was that in September? The game didn't even go on because they was scared to play the game in Brazil. They say, hey, man, just stop the game. 5 minutes, that's enough. COVID reasons, just stop it. Oh, man. So Neymar didn't actually travel with the team, which made things a bit, worse for the spectacle. And Tite chose to go with Allison in goal instead of Edison again. Come on, Tite, you could do better than that. You could do better than that. Jeez. Give my boy Edison a break, man. But Argentina looks good, though. They look really, really good as they qualify directly to Qatar based on the other results as well, where Chile, Colombia, Uruguay all failed to win, which give Argentina that mathematic advantage, and hence they qualified. So congratulations to the Argentina national team, the reigning champions in South America. I didn't expect anything else but for them to qualify. Last time around, they qualified with 28 points. It took them the last match day. It took a hat-trick from Messi for them to do it. It was tense. But this time, they got 29 points in 14 games, which is a big improvement from what happened back in 2014. And you got to give it to Leo Scaloni, man. He's done a great job. Also, Tite, he's done a great job. And these guys have a lot of, balance and a lot of peace in terms of the World Cup qualifying campaign. No headaches at all, man. No headaches. No headaches, man. And that's how you want it to be. You don't want to go into the final match day where you have to actually win the game. You don't want to do that. There's a possibility you could pull it off. You could do like what Cameroon did against the Ivory Coast. You see what I'm saying? And you could do what Ghana did against South Africa. Yeah, but that's doing it the hard way. These teams don't want to do things the hard way. And congrats to both Brazil, Argentina for making the cut. What would the World Cup be without these teams? Dry. Pretty dry. This next result for me, it was shocking because I didn't actually I didn't watch this game and I didn't look at the result until today. And I was like, what? Ecuador went to Chile and pick up a 2-0 win? Nah. Pervis Estupinian with the goal. Brilliant shot by the left back. And when I saw him score that goal, I said to myself, Man City needs a left back, Sign him up, man. Sign him up. Sign him up. Villarreal left back, quality. He knows how to play against Man United as well. Sign him up, man. The boy Pervis. He got a weird name, though. He got a weird name because Pervis sounds like pervert, and then Estupinian means basically stupid. You're a stupid pervert. basically. But respect to Estupinian, though. I hope you could take a joke. You know what I'm saying? I hope you could take a joke, bro. Let's take the joke and move on. Don't try to fight. I've never lost a fight. But 2-0 win to Ecuador, though. And that leaves them in third, but it gives them a 6-point cushion between themselves and the team in fourth, Colombia. God damn! Wow! Ecuador could be back at the World Cup. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Big up to Ecuador, man. Big up to the boy Alejandro Loaiza. If you're watching, congratulations in advance, man. You guys are making it. I could say that Ecuador are making it to the World Cup. It's fair to say that Ecuador are making it to the World Cup. They did a lot of revamping. They changed their crest. They did some, inside cleaning of the house and everything like you should do from time to time. And they put Gustavo Alfaro in charge of the team, and they're looking good. They're looking good like a beautiful mamacita on a wonderful summer's day. They're looking good. So all the best. All the best in their remaining games, man. You see? We want to see a refresh because for Ecuador, they last qualified for the World Cup back in 2014. And they made their debut in 2002, where they made it to the group stage. 2006, round of 16. And they didn't make it to South Africa, but made it to Brazil 2014, where they picked up a win, a draw, and a loss in the group. So even without Paulo Guerrero, them guys are doing no, Paulo Guerrero is freaking, I'm thinking Peru. I don't know why I said Paulo Guerrero. Even without Ena Valencia against the Chileans, they did the business. Look, for Chile, I don't know why I said Paulo Guerrero, My mind was just on Paulo Guerrero. I don't know why. But for Chile, look, you were hot. You were real hot. But Arturo Vidal, in the 13th minute, he got sent off. The goal came for Estupinan in the 9th. And Moises Caicedo the youngster from Brighton and Hove Albion, who was linked with Man United. Thank God you didn't go, bro. You made a great choice. He scored in the 93rd minute. That was a great run as well. Really good goal to put past Claudio Bravo. We call the Chile team old. We call them all kinds of names. And they really bounced back. They really bounced back with some really good results. And I actually thought they would have gotten a draw from this game. I really thought they would have gotten a draw. But they lost, man. They fell flat on their faces in this game. And they didn't play too badly. They had most of the ball. They had 13 shots, 1 on target, compared to Ecuador's 15 with 6 on target. That's very dangerous. But I expected them to at least get a point and make things a bit more interesting in terms of the last 2 spots there. It's still interesting for the 4th place and the 5th place, but Ecuador has pulled away, man. Really pulled away. 23 points, 3 wins, a draw and a loss in their last 5. They have really pulled away. And for Ecuador, I think they win their next game, they will go up to 26. I think they need more than 3 points to qualify. But let's say 6 points, 29 points would be more than enough, man. That will definitely be more than enough. Because guess what? Colombia could only get a maximum of 29. Peru could only get a maximum of 29. And for Chile, they could only get a maximum of 28. So let's say Ecuador, I think with a win, would do it. Because those other teams are going to drop points for sure. With the form that they have, they're going to drop points. And guys, with that being said, let's take a look at the standings really quick and do some permutations. You know, you guys love permutations, man. So, look, let's start from the bottom here. Venezuela, let's eliminate Venezuela. Let's eliminate Venezuela, right? But before we do eliminate them, let's talk about there could be potential banana peels against Bolivia. They could, you know what I mean? They could slip up Bolivia. They will be playing at home. Uruguay, there could be a problem for Uruguay. Argentina, that game won't have any significance. And there could be a problem for Colombia. So we're going to move right on to the next team from the bottom of the table who's still in contention, and that's Paraguay. Paraguay, it's tense for them, as, you know, they're a team that have not been at the World Cup for some time as well. I think the last time they were at the World Cup was 2010, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2010, South Africa. And they got to get their act together, man. They haven't been really competitive lately. And they had a really good run between 1998 and 2010. They had golden generation, some quality players. But they haven't been back to the World Cup in the last 2 events. Seems like they're going to miss this one as well. So for Paraguay, their upcoming matches, guys. Oh, boy. Them dudes have Brazil. They have Uruguay fighting as well. Ecuador still fighting. Might not be fighting then, because that game is coming up in March, and that's like the second to last game. And then they have Peru, who's going to be fighting. So it's going to be tough for Paraguay. I would like to assume that Paraguay are actually eliminated as well. For Bolivia, who has 15 points, what does the future hold for Bolivia, who last qualified back in 1994? Bolivia has to play Venezuela. Let us say they do the business. They do the business against Venezuela, right? Yeah. Go and do the business. They'll go up to 18 points. They play Chile and Colombia. Those games are 6-pointers. Let me start using the term 6-pointers. Got a lot of 6-pointers coming up. It's going to be rough for both Chile and Bolivia. And for Bolivia, when they meet Colombia, it's going to be rough. And their last game is against Brazil. And that's in Bolivia, where, who knows, they might need to win the game, and they might just go on to do so, because you don't want to play in La Paz. But Brazil, they're a quality team anywhere they go. Whether they go into the valleys or whether they go in the hills, Brazil, they would walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and they would come out unscathed. See what I'm saying? That's Brazil. But look, Bolivia, I don't think they're gonna qualify. I didn't predict them, but they're fighting. They're really, really fighting. We go up to Uruguay, man. Uruguay. From the last time I checked, they have some really kind matches coming up. I know kind is not really a good word to use when it comes to South American football, but they have Paraguay, they got Venezuela, they got Peru, and they have Chile. They don't have to play neither Argentina nor Brazil, which is a big boost for them. Okay? So, there is a window there. There is a window. They do have 2 games at home, 2 on the road. Peru at home, Venezuela at home as well. This one is hard to call, but let's say they beat Paraguay and they beat Venezuela. It would give them a good, put them into what, 20, 22 points. I think a lot of these games are gonna be 6-pointers on the last match day. It's gonna be very, very tight for the 4th place spot and the 5th place spot for the playoffs as well. Look, we go up to Chile. Right? Their remaining matches are against Argentina. They play Argentina and Brazil. They play Bolivia, they play Uruguay. Every single game is hard. You're playing 2 of the best teams in South America, and then you have a potential 6-pointer against Bolivia, and the final day against Uruguay, where that match could actually, who knows, determine the team that's going into the Interconfederation playoffs. So I think Chile, they got it really rough, man. We go up to Peru, right? For Peru, they put themselves in a really good position. They're tied on points with Colombia with an inferior goal difference, right? But they're where they want to be. They're where they want to be, and that's courtesy of picking up 3 wins in their last 5 games. They're where they want to be. They're level on points, which means they could easily leapfrog Colombia into 4th. Their remaining matches here for Peru. Remaining games for Peru. They play Colombia. First thing next year, Colombia. They absolutely got to win that game. That's on the road. It's going to be hard. Then they have Ecuador. Ecuador is a tough nut to crack. They got Uruguay and they have Paraguay on the final match day. So, look, it's all to play for. The path looks very good for Peru as well, where they do avoid Argentina and Brazil. Once you could avoid those teams, I think there's hope. I think there's possibilities for you. Colombia. We talk Colombia. They have Peru, Argentina, Bolivia, and they have Venezuela. I think that's a kind last 4 games for them. Bolivia and Venezuela in there. As I said, when you play these teams, you got to get 6 points. If you don't, then you're in trouble. It means that you're in trouble because these are the weakest teams in South America, according to the rankings and recent history. So, Colombia against Peru would be a big one, and the one against Bolivia might be a big game as well, but they have to at least get a point against Argentina on the road and beat Venezuela on the road, their neighbors, on the final match day. So, it brings us to Ecuador. We only got to talk Ecuador, right? Because they're in a great position, 6 points ahead of Colombia. And for Ecuador, who do they have coming up? They have some tough games. They do have some tough games. They play Brazil first thing next month. They will be at home. They need to get at least a point from Brazil. Then they play Peru, Paraguay, and Argentina. So for them, playing Brazil and Argentina might not be ideal. But it'll be games where Brazil and Argentina might actually rotate, and that will give them a chance, right? The Peru game is going to be big, and the Paraguay game might be, inconsequential for Paraguay at that time. Or who knows, they might just be fighting for a spot. So, look, from 9th all the way up to 4th, it's pretty tight. I think Ecuador will join Argentina and Brazil to qualify directly for Qatar. That's my thoughts on South America. CONMEBOL, Confederation. Let me know yours in the chat. So big up to everybody in the house, man. How's you guys feeling? Thanks for listening to that segment. You know, all of y'all in here, man. We got Dupe in the house. We got Alejandro Loaiza Dom. We'll definitely fight for that game. We want to change history. Tanner Wilson. Realistically, Paraguay, they're done. Johnny Longs in the house as well. Ilyas Sai. What's your prediction for the last round in Africa? I'm not doing that in this video because we don't know the teams yet, Ilyas. There still has to be a draw there, okay? All right? All right, so what else we got here? Prime Time in the house, Harrison Searle. What else we got, man? Adam, some poetry by Mr. Dom. Yeah, I do write poetry, but not anymore, though. I used to. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. We're doing great. We're doing well, and we're making some good progress. Let me drink some water as I have been doing in between segments, and we're going to move on to the CONCACAF Confederation next. So get your thoughts on CONCACAF ready. Get them queued up. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let me see if I miss any. You know, big up to the boy Raz, man. Ecuador 6-point gap. Doubt they'll drop out, which is surprising. They're in third. Now, not surprising at all. I have Ecuador qualifying for the World Cup, man. Go back, watch my World Cup qualification video. 32 teams. I have Ecuador making it. I didn't have Serbia making it, though. And that's one team that made it against my predictions. So, it is okay. I only wanted to get 25. Anyways, so, yeah, man. So, we see Harrison Searle saying moderators letting the banter flow. Yeah, let the banter flow, man, as long as it's respectful, all right? As long as it's respectful, we could banter. So, let me see. Apparently, Uruguay dropped out of the race because they heard the Socceroos might be in the playoffs and didn't want to get turned over again. Good one. Good one, man. Do an Africa. Oh, Ilyas, bro. Chill out, Ilyas. I talked Africa already. Gonna have to watch a replay or rewind. You can rewind while I'm live and watch the part when I spoke about Africa. But we don't know the teams that are going to play each other in the third round yet. All right? There's no draw. Chill. John Burns, I wonder if FIFA doesn't want Uruguay or Colombia to qualify. Got the Intercontinental playoff. They might be highly ranked. So, what else we got here in terms of comments, man? Let me see. What else we got here? All right. La Bestia Gaming. Who are your 5 teams making it? My 5 teams that I picked to make it are, I think I picked Ecuador to come in 5th. I had Uruguay coming in, well, I think I had Colombia 4th, Uruguay 3rd, Argentina 2nd, and Brazil 1st. Might not go like that. Might turn out to be totally different. Brandon Blanco in the house. How are you doing? Guys, make sure you smash in the thumbs up button, okay? We're going to talk about CONCACAF right about now. Let's go. Let us go. Let's get to 100 thumbs up, guys. So parched right now. So much talking. So much talking, man. Anyway, let's go. You know what? I'm surprised I didn't lose my voice over the last couple of days. But you know what, man? I'm a veteran. That just shows I'm a veteran and I know how to do my thing. Because if you're a rookie and you do this, you do as much streaming as I've been doing over the last couple of days. We have been live every single day. From since when? Since today is what? Today's Wednesday. I've been live since last week, Tuesday. I've gone live 7 days straight. Some days more than once. Absolutely ridiculous. But guys, we're closing in on 48K subs. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Appreciate the ones who've stick around for such a long time. Thanks for your continued support. The channel will be nothing without you, okay? So appreciate that, man. We're going to keep the thing going. We're going to keep the ball rolling. And football is an infinite game. Once there's life, there's going to be football. So no need to rush. We'll get to 100K one day. But we're closing in on 50. And we're looking to hit that by the end of January. You know, the African Cup of Nations should help us get to 50, which will be a really good landmark. You see what I'm saying? Where YouTube might send me a bronze play button for my work. There's no such thing, though. There's no such thing. So, big up to the boy Bone 6,000, 699 Canadian. Thank you very much. Says, rumor has it that Canada's next game will be the Arctic. Listen, what Canada played on the other night, what was it, last night? Might as well you call it the Arctic, because I'm pretty sure the ground was frozen. There was snow pile up on the side of the field. Everyone had on like long ass coats, and it's the heart of winter right now in Canada. It's cold. It's not that cold in New York right now, guys. It is a little chilly, but it's not that cold. It's not that cold. But in Canada, we're in the heart of winter already. We're in the heart of winter. Okay, but let's talk CONCACAF football. Let's talk the Ocho, the Octagonal for the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. All right. 8 teams will play round robin, home and away fixtures. Total of 14 matches altogether in a grueling qualification process. Canada, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, Jamaica, Mexico, Panama, and the USA. At the beginning of today's live stream, news came in that Theodore Tapper Whitmore got the sack. And I made a call down to, a very reliable source in Jamaica to get the inside scoop, and it was confirmed that the board are meeting, and they are thinking about sacking Theodore Whitmore. Well, they were actually going to vote, and the votes might go towards sacking Theodore Whitmore. And I was like, I don't know if he deserved a sacking at this time, because you see what I'm saying? He kind of pulled things back in the last 6 games, if you understand. He picked up 7 points. And it's like, is now the right time to sack him? I don't think so. I think, give him the World Cup qualifier campaign and see what happens. And after that, if Jamaica fails to qualify, then yeah, sack him. You see what I'm saying? By all rights, sack him. But I don't see the reason to sack him now. What they should have done was sack him after the Gold Cup, because Jamaica didn't do well at the Gold Cup. So then was the time you had to sack him and go fresh into the World Cup qualifiers. But then again, you don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? So fans have been calling for Tapper Whitmore to get the sack, and it seems like, it happened, man. Seems like it happened. So I was one of the persons who were calling for the boy Tapper Whitmore to get the sack as well. And it seems like they're doing it. Well, I'm checking the Jamaican Twitter right now. No one has updated that Twitter account to say whether that sacking is official. And let me just check out another thing here. All right. So let me see. All right, so, yeah. Okay, so, all right. So, it's 9. We had a tweet out 55 minutes ago by our boy Simon Preston. And let's just share this Twitter post right now. Let's share this Twitter post because we're talking CONCACAF. And big up to my boy Simon Preston as well, guys. Going over to Reggae Boys Commentary. Subscribe to our boy Simon. Look, 40 minutes ago, what I will say is Ricky Hill is a coach that likes to pass the ball and hold possession. If he indeed gets the job tomorrow, which, as I have said, nothing is official, the football may be more aesthetically pleasing, But will that lead to results? We will have to wait and see. All right, so let's go back. And he also says, my preferred choice of management is Joby McAnuff. If there is a change of management imminent, it is important to note that nothing is finalized. As of 9:38 p.m., November 17th, 2021, Tapa is the coach of Jamaica national team. So he is still the manager. There hasn't been any update by Simon, and it seems as if Theodore Whitmore still in charge, and there might be an imminent announcement in the morning, right? So the boy might be get the sack in the blood cleat morning, man. Them a wait till the morning time for sack Tapa. That's my best Jamaican accent right there. You know, so let us let us go back. Let us go back. So that's the latest development in CONCACAF right now. And Tapa Whitmore could be the second manager in the octagonal to get sacked after the boy Fabian Coito got sacked by Honduras, and Hernan Dario Gomez got roped in and lost his first two matches after scoring first. Right? No? Did they score first? They scored first against Costa Rica, didn't they? We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. So, yeah, no, they scored second. That was Costa Rica. Oscar Duarte scored. All right, so let's start, man. Let's talk. Let us talk. Oh, man, so much going on, so much to cover. And, yeah, I couldn't remember who scored first. Well, Biggie. No Biggie there. So, look, 4 games played yesterday. I made a separate video talking about those matches, so feel free to go check out what I had to say immediately after those games were over. But as the dust have settled on those games, this is what I have to say right now, and I'll share my thoughts on what could, happen next year in terms of the remaining 6 matches in CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers for Qatar 2022. So Jamaica won. The USA won. Let's talk about this match. Let's not delay. Jamaica should have won this game. Jamaica should have won the game. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna pretty it up. No time for that. Jamaica should have won the game. I like what Greg Berhalter did in terms of his selection, right? Weston McKennie was suspended. Miles Robinson was suspended. I think if those players were available, he would have gone in with the same 11 that picked up the remarkable victory against Mexico, right? He was forced into changes. He made his changes. They opened the scoring in the 11th minute through Tim Weah. Tim Weah has looked really, really good. I really like how he's been playing lately. Remember, the football is in his DNA. His mom is Jamaican. His dad is Liberian. The Ballon d'Or winner, Mr. George Weah, the current president of Liberia. The man has greatness in his blood, and he looked really good in the game against Mexico and started off against the USA, Jamaica very well. I like the link-up play that him and Ricardo Pepi had going on. Brendan Aaron still looked sharp as well, even though he was getting roughed up by the Jamaicans. And the Jamaicans say, little white boy, where you go? You're a little too wild up, chill out. But yeah, man, Jamaica in the first 20 minutes weren't very good. But Mikel Antonio, out of nothing at all, scored his second successive goal for Jamaica to earn them yet another point. That was absolutely ridiculous. He scored 2 goals. The one against El Salvador, individual brilliance. Dink the keeper. This one against the USA, Zach Steffen is still wondering how he got beaten there. Like, he wasn't expecting a shot, and he had no chance of saving that one as well. That's what you call a bullet. Somebody said, bullet! Bullet! Bust a blank. But we ain't busting blanks here. Mikel Antonio is firing a real shot. And that was a good goal. But Jamaica should have gotten a penalty. when Mr. Chris Richards hands the ball. And Jamaica should have scored when Bobby Reed, bro. Bobby Reed, bro. I've been calling for Bobby Reed to get the freaking to get dropped. Bobby Reed need to get dropped, bro. Could I say this? Bobby Reed needs to get dropped because he's been awful. In the goal, Tim Weah bodied Bobby Reed. He was trying to allow the ball to go out, and Tim Weah just said, boy, move from wrong on me, and just take the ball and scored, right? And then, look, Bobby Reed had a freaking tap-in, open goal, and blasted it over. And I think that's, he would look back at that and be very ashamed. You know what I mean? Call up his boy Raheem Sterling and say, yo, Raheem, I'm part of the club now, bro. I can't joke around with you about missing that chance against Lyon in the Champions League. I'm not even playing in the Champions League, but I missed the sitter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had to score. He got to score. Jamaica really, really troubled the USA after they equalized. They really did. Yo, Andre Blake had a few more, shots to save, but not a whole lot to really talk about. You see what I mean? There was like an instance where there was a block and there was a save by Blake, if my memory serves me right. But it was Jamaica, man. And that Damian Lowe goal from that header, that should have stood. That should have stood. I don't see what he did wrong. Players go up and touch each other all the time. But I think initially he got above Walker Zimmerman. And after he got the header in is where the contact really happened. And Zimmerman, a little crybaby, went down a bit too easy. And the referee obliged. I think the referee, was totally against Jamaica in the game. I don't know what it is. Maybe he had maybe a Jamaican boy take his woman away from him in the past. I don't know. But I think it was a good performance by Jamaica, though. And Kemal Lawrence had to go off injured. They made a few changes. And I think Tapper Whitmore did. I honestly think, and guys, I'm going to keep it real. I think Tapper Whitmore did what he had to do. And even bringing in Javon Watson, Javon Watson has been stellar. I don't know what some people be talking about and criticizing Tapper for. In my opinion, Tapper don't need to get sacked right now. He could get sacked in result of not qualifying, but allow him to finish. You see what I'm saying? Because making the change right now, just 60% done with the games. What you think, you're going to bring somebody in and they're going to actually take you to Qatar? It ain't happening. It doesn't happen like that. But you never know. They win their remaining 6 matches. They could end up with, what, 20, 25 points? It's a whole lot of points. See what I'm saying? So I guess it's okay to try. Yesterday, we tried with you, but tomorrow, we're going to try things without you. Thanks for your service. Goodbye. But all the best to whoever gets the job, though. Jamaica has a lot of talent. They got a lot of talent. But I think that the Jamaicans might think they are a lot better than they actually are in regards to the other teams, right? And I think the recent results in the CONCACAF Gold Cup might have given Jamaica that false hope that they could qualify for the 2022 World Cup. It even gave me that false hope as well, because if we had a hexagonal, Jamaica would have been in the hex and there would have been less teams to play against, right? And they would have fancied their chances against the other teams. But guys, we have to factor in that the Gold Cup is a centralized tournament played in one nation, the USA. They did experiment by playing in Jamaica and I think in Costa Rica the last in 2019. But when you have to travel to Canada and when you have to play on ice, to play ice hockey, right? And you have to travel to the jungles of Central America. You see what I'm saying? It's hard. And when the USA play your games up in Colorado and Texas in the hot sun and things like that, it is difficult. It is difficult. So Jamaica won, the USA won in terms of the table. Jamaica, they remain sixth in the table. They remain sixth. Let's just scroll down and take a look at the table real quick. They're sixth in the table, which I think is very respectable with 7 points. But they're 7 points off that playoff spot. And it's going to take a whole lot to catch up to Panama. They'll have to actually beat Panama in the return leg in Panama. And they'll just have to win games. They only won once. They need to win a lot more games. You see what I'm saying? For the USA, they relinquished the top spot. They have 15 points. And that's with 8 matches played. Very good. Very good. Seeing they had a disastrous campaign back in 2018, right? A dreadful night in Cuba. What was that? October, right? What's that date? October, sometime, I can't remember the date. But October 10th, I think. But the USA, they should be fine. They should qualify. Or else it would be all hell would break loose in CONCACAF. They might actually do some things. There might be some ghost goals and things like that in the last set of games. But I don't think the USA would stud at the back end, though. Knock on wood for the USA. But I think it's good getting a point in Jamaica, but you should have won the game. We're going to move on. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk Europe as well. And let's go. Let us go. Let's talk about the next game here. And that's the game Panama 2, El Salvador 1. I got to give it to Panama, man. I was watching this game, and 15 seconds into the game, El Salvador scored. And they went nuts. Jairo Henriquez in the first minute. 15 seconds, I should say. Did I say minutes? 15 seconds in. And look, they couldn't believe it. Hugo Perez couldn't believe it. He was punching the air like, God damn. Oh, man, 15 seconds? You guys are doing a damn thing. We're going to Qatar now. But they had a rude awakening, man. Look, Panama, they did it in the last game against Honduras. They were 2-0 down, came back to win the game 3-2 after 75 minutes, right? They came into the second half 1-0 down, and the change to bring on Freddie Gondola, you got to give Thomas Christensen a lot of credit there. And it was Cecilio Waterman. Listen, the Waterman has not been dry at all. I love his name, Cecilio Waterman. And the man popped up to score in the 50th minute. And then Freddie Gondola, 2 minutes later. I couldn't believe it. I was telling my wife, she don't really watch football. I was telling her, look, Panama scored again. I cannot believe this. You got to give it to the Canal boys, man. Coming back again, held on to the win. And they, pick up 6 points in November. Big 6 points, man. And they're fighting. They're really fighting to qualify for back-to-back World Cups after making a debut in 2014. Look, my favorite player these days from the Panamanian team, it has to be Eric Davis, man. Eric Davis. The left back, quality. And that's what the Panama team has. They have quality in the 11, on the bench, and in the reserves, because there was no Basinas, and Basinas means business, you see, and he wasn't available. So look, another player who's missing as well, and we probably don't notice that. Player by the name of Harold Cummings, big central defender, and he's a key figure in this team. And Gabby Torres not even involved that much. Jose Luis Rodriguez not involved that much. And they're still managing to do well. Maybe not against Canada, but, shout out to Canada, by the way. But those are 2 big games in those Central American derbies, man. You got to give it to Panama there for picking up those wins. They did well in September, not so well in October, but in November, magnifico. So, look, with that 3 points, look, it's very disappointing for El Salvador. They look very spirited. They always have looked spirited under Hugo Perez. But I think, they have another World Cup cycle to go. 2026, where the USA, Mexico, and Canada won't be fighting for the places. And there will be 3 direct spots plus two playoff spots. And I think El Salvador will be at least in the playoff spot. The playoff tournament that would involve South America, AFC, the OFC, and Africa. So it's not all doom and gloom for El Salvadorian football. They just got to keep their heads up high and just hope for the better. Don't be too rash. Keep Hugo Perez in charge of the team. Keep doing your little scouting. Keep bringing players into the setup. And you're only going to work out for the better. Listen, El Salvador is a very, very progressive country. Look at what they're doing in terms of the cryptocurrency and everything. And with their volcanoes. So, look, man. Maybe El Salvadorian football could erupt in 2026 and they could be back at the World Cup. But right now, I think it's a little bit too much. So they're in 7th place, as you guys could see, and giving up the points from a winning position there. Maybe not the most ideal, but still, you know, against Jamaica, they did fight back to get that 1 point. It's not all over for them yet. Still have a maximum of 18 points to get that could take them up to 24. So if they become prime Brazil 2002, it's a possibility for them. So for Panama, they're in the playoff spot right now. And remember, they qualified directly for the World Cup back in 2018. Honduras did get the playoff. And Panama will be looking to do the same again. And they could actually doom Mexico into the playoffs. Guys, that would be crazy, right? That would be crazy. So we're not going to spend too much longer on that. We still got 2 big games to talk about. And let's scroll up where we could touch on those matches. I like that they leave the best one for last too. So Costa Rica 2, Honduras 1. Costa Rica and Honduras both had the same problems. Not scoring enough goals and letting in a lot. Honduras has the worst defense. Costa Rica not that bad, where they're in the middle and they really sandwiched into the middle there in terms of their standings in the octagonal and in terms of their attack prowess and their defensive, nous. So look, Costa Rica, they opened in the scoring in this game in the 20th minute. I actually had this game playing, but I missed the opening 2 goals here. And don't know how I managed to do that, but I did. When I looked at I think it was my boy Liam that was actually distracting me. But Oscar Duarte in the 20th minute. And then Romel Cuyoto equalized for Honduras. And I was saying to myself, I predicted a draw, and it's heading towards a draw. Yeah, I love when I get my predictions right. But it took the 95th minute for Gerson Torres to give Costa Rica the win. Brilliant balling by Joel Campbell, man. Wicked left foot he got on him there. You can remember how good he was at the 2014 World Cup as well. Look, and Costa Rica was at the 2018 event too. So they're looking to get back there, and that's a big 3 points, man. Ball into the box, headed over into the center, and Mr. Torres to head past the very brilliant Luis Lopez, who was banged up during the game. And it's quite unfortunate that Hernan Dario Gomez and Honduras lost the match. I think they deserve the point, but you don't always get what you deserve in life. You see what I'm saying? Remember when you saw two friends, a pretty one and a not so pretty one, and you ended up with a not so pretty one? You don't always get what you deserve. Even though you thought you deserved a prettier one, you didn't get that one. But sometimes it's the best thing. You know what I'm saying? So, looks so deceiving. So, look, Luis Fernando Suarez was under a lot of pressure to deliver, and deliver he did. Keylor Navas back in the team. It's always a good morale boost for him. If you look across the 11, you know what I mean? He put out a really good team. Kesha Fuller, Oscar Duarte, Calvo, Matarita. These are quality guys. Yeltsin Tejeda. You got Joel Campbell. This is a quality team. You see what I'm saying? When you have Brian Ruiz and Celso Bojes and Johan Venegas and Kendall Waston, They got quality. They're just a little slow. Gerson Torres came off the bench to score the winner as well. Give the manager the credit he deserves. They even have Brian Oviedo waiting in the wings. So the team has the quality. It's just that they don't have that youthful quality like a Canada or a USA, and you see why those teams are actually running away. Look at Brazil, look at Argentina, look at the quality that they're producing. Hence the reason why they don't have to worry about qualifying for the World Cup. But for Costa Rica, they still have to worry. But that 3 points, massive, massive in the grand scheme of things, and they may have just eliminated Honduras with that win. Look, we scroll down here to the table again. Costa Rica, 5th, but they're 5 points behind Panama. That could change in a heartbeat with W's. You need the W's, and it changes things. It gives you a lot of hope. It makes you it gives you that optimism, right? But Honduras, 3 points with a maximum of 21 points they could actually get. It's over. It is over for them. It is over. 21 points. They're not winning their remaining games. They're not winning all their remaining games, judging from the way they have been playing so far. Beaten by Jamaica, beaten by Panama, back to coming back from behind, beaten by Costa Rica there, beaten by Mexico. They have lost their last 4 games. They have lost 5. Well, they have lost 5 out of 6. It's bad. They remain the only team yet to pick up a win in the octagonal. Honduras, bro, it's over. You guys have been shocking in defense. It's over for Honduras, in my opinion. They might actually need to sack Hernan Dario Gomez again. You know what I mean? That's how bad things might actually get. Because, look, coming up, they got Canada. That's a home game. They might get a draw from that one. They got El Salvador neighbors there. It might be difficult. They have the USA on U.S. soil. They got Mexico. They got Panama. Then they got to go to Jamaica, which is not going to be easy. So, fair to say that they're done. They're done. Before we talk about the last game, could you guys please allow me to take a sip of water? Because I've been talking a lot. And this is going to take a lot out of me too, because this game is a huge game. Can't believe I got my predictions right. That took a lot of balls, though. That took some huge gorilla balls to actually predict Canada, who had not beaten Mexico since 2000, to beat Mexico yesterday. That took a lot. That took a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Canada actually beat Mexico in the Gold Cup semifinal, if I could recall, on their way to win the only ever Gold Cup title. And if they continue playing like the way they play, they might just win the next Gold Cup. You know what I'm saying? They're a good team. They're a good team. And Canada, let me just scroll down. I don't want to stay here. Let me scroll down and show you guys something. I know you've noticed it. Who's on top the table right there? Who's on top the octagonal table right there? It is Canada. Cannot believe I'm saying this. After 8 games, Canada are on top the octagonal. This is absolutely unbelievable. This is unbelievable. But believe it. Believe it, because the football that they're playing on the field, it is just amazing, man. You might look at the thing and say, Canada, if you're an outsider, if you're from Asia or you're from Africa or from Europe, you'd be like, Canada, they're not making it to the World Cup. Get out of here. Knock it off. That's the country that plays the hockey, right? That's a cold country, right? That's the country that speaks French too, right? They're not making it to the World Cup. Quit it. Stop it. You're joking, right? You should go into comedy. Nah, Canada's on top of the table. First, numero uno, Ichiban, 16 points, unbeaten, the only team unbeaten. Mexico has 2 losses, one of them inflicted by the Canucks, the Maple Leaf Boys of Canada. Wow. Strategically playing those matches in Edmonton. Genius. 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 Harsh, if you ask me, but genius, man. Because, guys, what they played on, that was not a playing field, man. That was not a field. That was like a tarmac. That was tough. I'm telling you, that was icy. Plus, you got the football lines. You see what I'm saying? You got the football lines on the pitch and all. It wasn't pretty, but you don't need pretty. You know what I'm saying? You need effective, and that's what Canada have been, effective. Kyle Larin, 45th minute. 52nd minute as well. Brilliant goals. And Hector Herrera in the 90th minute. Mexico outplayed. And not many times you say that in CONCACAF. But Mexico thoroughly outplayed by Canada. And not many times you'll say that as well. But Canada went to Mexico, got a point. They went home, took them into the tundra, and beat them. And they beat them bad. 2-1. It was 2-0. But Mexico came back hard in the last 10 minutes. Canada, they looked really nervy. Milan Boyan had to save one off the line. Oh, man, it would have been some heartbreaking stuff if Canada had let Mexico back to get a point. I'm not a Canadian fan, but I might just be a Canadian fan now. But I would have been pissed. You see what I'm saying? I would have been pissed. I would have really been pissed. And Canada holds a special place in my heart, guys, because the first ever time I went on an airplane, I went to Canada. Toronto, back in the year 2000. Can't remember the airline, but I remember that was the first foreign country I ever went to. Well, I did step into Barbados to, go to Canada, transfer, my plane. But the first foreign country outside of the Caribbean that I actually went to was Canada. So, yeah, that's a little story for you guys there. But back to the script, though. Look, outplayed. John Herdman, stand up. Tata Martino, take a seat. Along with your Mexican squads, y'all take several seats. You guys have been awful. And I've been saying this all throughout the World Cup qualifying campaign, man. Mexico has been awful. Even though they picked up 14 points, they weren't convincing. They weren't convincing points. I think Mexico had 2 convincing games. Only 2. Only 2 games they have been convincing in. That 3-0 win against Honduras, and even that 2-0 win against El Salvador wasn't even that convincing. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't that convincing. The Jamaica win wasn't convincing. Costa Rica win wasn't convincing. They haven't been good. Losing to the USA 3 times in 2021 is like how Tata Martino isn't sacked yet is beyond me for that. That is criminal. I bet if you check some penal code down in Mexico, it's a crime to lose 3 times, yet alone in 1 year, to the USA. And then on top of that, for a bonus, if you get into the criminal justice and you get into the system and they want to throw the book at you, the book should be thrown at Tata Martino for losing to Canada too. You see what I'm saying? Like think about it. And then you draw into Canada, losing to them. And it's ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous what Mexico has done so far in the World Cup qualifiers. Ridiculous. The draw against Panama as well on the road, ridiculous. They have not been playing well. And it could look, I know we're talking about how good Canada have been, but Mexico could get dragged in. They could definitely get dragged into a playoff talk. Because Panama they're not joking around. Costa Rica looks resurgent. Jamaica could get a new manager, and Mexico would play Jamaica at home when things restart. Don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. See what I mean? Then they have Panama at the Azteca. And then the game between Mexico and the USA. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be rough. They will qualify, in my opinion. I don't have the balls to say Mexico won't qualify, but I think it might be a little bit of a struggle where they might just come in third. Who knows? They might just go on to top the octagonal, but I'm just saying. Though. So quality performance by Canada, man. When you look across the pitch there and you see who they have in their lineup, this team is very young and they have potential and they have a lot of star power in the team, right? And I like whenever John Herdman make his changes, the team still looks strong. You have Kyle Larin coming in for Jonathan David, right? I think sometimes David go missing in games and Larin might be more of a target man and, his runs are clever, but David is very dangerous as well. Alphonso Davies is, I think, currently the best player in CONCACAF, if you ask me. Tajan Buchanan, man, if this guy does get a move to Europe, I think he's been linked with a Belgian club, if I'm not mistaken. He could develop into a monster, man. Remember that attempted bicycle kick in that game? Oh, man, against Costa Rica? Oh, my God, if that had went in, it would have been scenes. Sam Adekugbe, I like that player. And Richie Larea, he just runs and runs and runs and runs. And what I like about Larea stands up for all his teammates. He's the first one to get into the opponent's face. You see, with those big, bold eyes, he just looks at the opponent like, okay, like, you're not going to come and push around the player like that. I'm going to fight you. And that's what I like about Larea, though. And the pace and, just the stamina is just amazing, man. Really, really amazing. So, Canada, man, bright future. They have the Atiba Hutchinson in the middle. And at 38, once Canada qualifies, Hutchinson would want to go to the World Cup there as well. The player that makes things tick for this Canadian team is a man by the name of Steven Estaquiao. Steven Estaquiao. What a player. He's only 24. Seems like he's been around a while. I didn't know about this guy until this year, to be honest. But he has come through the Portuguese youth system. And the quality on this guy is amazing, man. That free kick over to Larin, oh my goodness. That was nasty. And remember the Gold Cup, that was the Gold Cup he scored that direct free kick, right? Player, man, the quality that Canada has in this team right now is astounding, I'm telling you. Astounding. And the defenders are quality, man. You look, Alistair Johnson is feisty. Kamal Miller, you have Doniel Henry, who had to go off injured, replaced by Steven Vittoria. Worthy replacement. You have Jonathan Osorio on the bench as well. And you have guys like Mark Anthony Kay. You know what I'm saying? So the team just have all this quality, man. Quality. And when you have the likes of Liam Miller and the introduction of Ike Ugbo now, Canada looking nasty. And the test, as I mentioned, for Canada will be those 4 matches that they have to play in Central America next year. And I think they're going to take that pragmatic approach, go into Central America, and they're going to take their time and grind out some draws and maybe an odd win. But my recommendation for Canada, listen, go down in the jungles, dress up like Rambo, train, and you're bound to beat these Central American nations. And look, that's my take on the game. Hard luck to Mexico. They definitely got a lot of work to do. It could get ugly. It could get 2014 all over again. So, Canada, on the up, you see top of the octagonal there. And I have them qualify even before the octagonal kicked off. So that's the table. Canada, USA, Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, Jamaica, El Salvador, and Honduras. And that brings my CONCACAF segment to an end. So, big up to everybody in the stream, man. I think I missed a super chat there. Thank you there very much. Let me just scroll up and see if I find that. Appreciate the participation in the chat. You guys are really doing well. Appreciate that. And John Burns is asking, can Jamaica beat Mexico at home? They could grind out a draw. I don't think they'll beat them. But judging from the way Mexico are playing, Jamaica might just earn a draw. And if they do have Mikel Antonio available, who knows what could happen. And if Bobby Reid actually going to put the balls in the goal, you never know what could happen. So let me just double check my phone, make sure my wife didn't hit me up. She just went back to work after a little vacation there. All right. Make sure that she didn't message me to say that she's done. She usually get out late these days, so all right, she's gonna be late again. But before I run out of time, man, you know, we're gonna talk Europe. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Big up to everybody, you know what I mean? Thank you for participating in the chat. Everybody who super chatted, appreciate that, man. And Dude, Lebowski, Don Zia, everybody in here, man. Everybody. Smalusaurus, Rex, big up to you. Super Strike, everybody, man. Adam the Great, if you're still in here. Everybody in here, man. Palomo, all of you guys. Look. Harrison is saying USA not home yet, I think. Look. No one's home yet. There's still 6 games to go. After those first 2 games in January, we'll know. We'll know for sure what's going on. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so. We'll definitely appreciate that. And then, yeah, we're going to move on. So, quality comment, Joel. Carrasquilla is a player I really like. I found out about him for the first time when they played Curacao. I didn't know about him. I like his look with the big hair. Don't know too much about Giannis, but Adalberto Carrasquilla is the truth. So let us go. Would nice to see him, get picked up by, another club. He plays in the 2nd division in Spain. So let us go. We're gonna move over to UEFA, and we're gonna talk UEFA, man. Hopefully this shouldn't take that long because it's pretty done. It's pretty wrapped up in UEFA right now, and not like we have permutations. We only have the playoffs to talk about. So let me actually get that UEFA tab up and going, and we're gonna land the plane over in Europe, where I've never been to Europe, by the way, guys. I've been to India, Sri Lanka. I've landed in Dubai, on my way to those countries. I've never went to Africa, and I've gone around the Caribbean a little, couple cruises. I've gone to Canada. I went to Mexico, but Cozumel, not the mainland, Cozumel, Mexico. And yeah, so I went to Mexico. I went to California already too. I would love to go to Hawaii though, and I would love to go to Thailand and Japan and Australia and New Zealand. Take me to Antarctica and Iceland if you have to. So let's take a look at the groups, man. And Europe. Let's go. Let me actually make this a little smaller. All right. That's good. So you guys could see everything. And we're just going to recap the games that happened yesterday. But we're going to go through each and every group in terms of who qualified. So yesterday we had games from, I know we had games from Group G for sure. And those games from Europe are from groups D, E, and G. So we got to touch on those groups, like go in depth in terms of those groups. Not too crazy, though. Not too crazy. But we're really going to talk more of the playoffs today. All right? So, because yesterday's live stream in the watch along, I did go over the games. So I don't need to go super deep here. But I just might. You know what I mean? I just might. Deeper the better, right? So Yeah. UEFA, let me pull something else up. All right. Take a sip of my water. All right. Once again, appreciate everybody who's still here. We've been live for 2.5 hours. God damn, the time flew by. I didn't even realize that, man. Jesus. Oh, god damn, this boy Dom could talk. Anyways, Serbia tops Group A with that win against Portugal, a come from behind win on Portuguese soil. It feels even better to do it in your opponent's backyard, you know. 20 points. They go unbeaten in the group and they qualify for successive World Cups. Portugal are doomed to the playoff. And the title of this live stream says, Italy and Portugal could miss the World Cup. And they could indeed miss the World Cup. And there's a scenario where Portugal and Italy could meet each other in the final of the playoffs as well. That'll be one big playoff, man. Jesus Christ. Look, super, you know what I mean, star-studded lineups. But Portugal, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And no disrespect to Serbia, but Portugal, you know, they should have handled business. But to give Serbia the respect that they do deserve, they played out their skins, and it was just quality on the day. Dusan Tadic, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. If anybody doubted Tadic in the past, you ought to apologize, because this guy is full of freaking quality, man. I'm telling you. That goal that burst through Rui Patricio's hands and then the ball to Mitrovic. Oh, my goodness. Nasty. Oh. So, Portugal, they enter the playoffs with that team. Fernando Santos should remain in charge, and he goes into the playoffs to see if he could make another World Cup. It will be sad for Ronaldo not to qualify, but with the fact that they have Ronaldo, look, I'm pretty sure once he's fit, he's going to make it happen. Republic of Ireland, Luxembourg, and Azerbaijan miss the plane. So we go down to Group B, where Spain pips Sweden, who were running away with the group at one point, and it looked like Spain were going to have to go into the playoffs, but now it will be Sweden. There's also a situation brewing where we could have a rematch of the Italy versus Sweden playoff final, right? There's also that possibility, because as we stand in terms of the rankings in UEFA, that draw will actually be in 8 days. Sweden, in terms of the rankings, Italy are ranked number 1 in terms of the playoff teams. Portugal number 2. Then we have Sweden number 3. So Sweden will be one of the seeded teams. Wales number 4 seeded. And then we have Poland number 5 seeded. And we have Ukraine 6 seeded, right? So those teams won't play each other in the semis. They cannot meet each other in a semifinal, but they can meet each other in the final, right? And for the semifinals, guys, remember the draw would be 6 semifinals, right? 6 semifinals, which would make 12 teams. The seeded teams will be drawn from semifinals 1 to 6, while the unseeded teams will also be drawn from semifinal 1 to 6. So 1 and 2 would be one path, 3 and 4 another path, and 5 and 6 another path. So let's say, for example, Portugal go into 1, semifinal 1, and Italy go into semifinal 2. Then Portugal could play Italy. Let us say, for example, Sweden are semifinal 6 and Italy are semifinal 5. Then Italy and Sweden could meet again. So that's how it is, man. That is how it is. That is how it is. But let's see how it works out, though. Can't wait for the draw. It's going to be juicy. Very, very juicy. So well done by Luis Enrique and Spain to get through to Qatar. All the best to Sweden. Good try, Greece. Georgia looks good as well. Kosovo, all these teams very, very promising for the future. And we go down to Group C, where there was another shocker. Switzerland, 18 points, unbeaten. Pipping Italy on 16 points, also unbeaten to that direct spot to Qatar. And there was a game between Switzerland and Italy recently, and the game ended in a 1-1 draw. So Italy at home had the opportunity to get a win and go on directly and avoid the playoffs again, where they'll definitely be reminded of the horror show back in 2017. And it is described as PTSD. You don't want to meet Sweden again. You don't. You really, really don't want to meet Sweden. Because who knows? Lightning could definitely strike twice. But all the best to Italy. Congratulations to Switzerland under Murat Yakin. And they make it to the World Cup again. I really like what they did at the the build up and at the 2018 World Cup. They got these, this quality team, man. Slept on, but quality. So hard luck to Mancini and Italy. They have to do it the hard way. But at least it's going to be interesting to see if a big team does indeed miss out from Europe. Northern Ireland third, Bulgaria fourth, Lithuania finished last in the group. We move on to Group D, where we had games yesterday. And France went on to qualify as predicted, as World Cup, holders as well. Previously, the holders went directly in the World Cup along with the host, but that has been done away with. France, they beat Finland, and that knocked Finland out. That eliminated Finland, especially with Ukraine's win over Bosnia and Herzegovina. So France finished on top of the group, 18 points, unbeaten. Ukraine remain unbeaten in the group with 6 draws and 2 wins. With 12 points, they go into the playoffs. They will be an unseeded team. And Russia would also be an unseeded team. So we won't have Ukraine, Russia actually meeting each other in a semifinal. But there might be a potential final for those teams. They might actually do the draw in a way that Ukraine and Russia do avoid each other. Like Ukraine has to go into a pot that's not adjacent. Well, a semifinal path that's not adjacent to Russia, so they could avoid meeting each other. So, politics as usual, man. So, look, hard luck to Finland. They look good. They were valiant, but just not enough. Bosnia were just awful with just 1 win across 8 matches. And Kazakhstan, with those 3 draws, looked like they're showing some promise. Maybe in 25 years, they'll be a force to be reckoned with. We just take a look at the results really quick there, and you could see the games that happened yesterday. France defeated Finland 2-0 on the road. It was Kylian Mbappe's goal along with Karim Benzema to give France a 2-0 win. In the other game between Ukraine and Bosnia and Herzegovina, Ukraine won the game 2-0 as well. Man City's very own Alexander Zinchenko, who might be on his way out, scored in the 58th minute along with Artem Dovbyk, whose heroics from the Euros, it was just like deja vu. So well done by Ukraine, and they go into the playoffs there. So that's a wrap for Group D there, though. That's a wrap. It was very close, but in the end, it's decided. We move on to the next group, Group E. Belgium tops the group, unbeaten in the group with 2 draws, 6 wins, 20 points. Wales go into the playoffs on 15 points. They have not qualified for the World Cup since 1958. They look to do so again. They will be a seeded team. They are ranked very highly these days, and they're in 19th ranked place, just above Poland, and they picked Poland to that spot. Let me just double check. We have Italy, Portugal, We got Sweden, Wales. I think Poland might be seeded. Poland seeded. Poland might just be seeded. Pardon me with that one. So just reiterate. Italy. We have Portugal 2, Sweden 3, Wales 4, Poland 5, and Ukraine 6. So Ukraine are also seeded, and Poland are seeded, and Wales are seeded. So yeah, pardon me with that one. Austria, Czech Republic, Russia, Turkey, Scotland, and who else there? We got North Macedonia are the unseeded teams. So pardon me there for the wrong information that I give you, but I corrected myself there, which is the most important thing. So yeah. So in Group E, start Group E. Not get distracted. Wales into the playoffs. The Czech Republic into the playoffs via the Nations League, and then we got Estonia and Belarus finishing at the bottom, man. So yeah, let us just scroll down to the results there. Congratulations to Belgium. That was expected. But Wales and Czech Republic, all the best in the playoffs. So I'm wondering, I think teams who were in the same group could actually, they could probably meet each other in the playoffs this time around. Ooh, that'll be interesting. So for the groups that has two teams going through to the playoffs, that'll be interesting. So look, Wales won, Belgium won. I did predict a draw for that game as well. Kevin De Bruyne in the 12th minute, Kiefer Moore in the 32nd. 1-1 draw. Nothing more to add in terms of that game. The next match, Czech Republic 2, Estonia 0. I expected Czech Republic to win. They did so. Jakub Brabec in the 59th minute and Jan Sikora in the 85th minute. The Czechs go into the playoffs to see if they can follow up on a very impressive European Championship. So we move on. Next group, Group F. Big up to Denmark. They, however, lost their first and only game of the World Cup qualifying campaign. That loss came to the hands of the Scots. And Scotland have been very, very, very impressive there, picking up 23 points compared to Denmark's 27. So Denmark, the only blemish was that loss against Scotland and conceding that goal against the Faroe Islands. But nevertheless, they did enough, and we will be seeing them in Qatar. But could we be seeing Scotland in Qatar? Maybe. They're not going to be an easy team to play, and they're 180 minutes away from actually qualifying for the first time since 1998. Israel tried. Austria will be into the playoffs as well via the Nations League. Backdoor. Some people just like to go through back doors, and Austria apparently are one of those. So Faroe Islands come in 5th there, and Moldova last in the group. We'll take a look at the results from the last match day briefly, and we then move on to the next group. We had 3 games. Israel 3, Faroe Islands 2. So for this game, in this match, we had Munas Dabor in the 38th minute from the penalty spot. Then we had Sean Wiseman in the 58th. Solvi Vantheimer did score one in the 62nd. Then we had Clement Olsen in the 72nd, and Dor Perrett scoring a winner in the 74th minute. We move on to the next game. Scotland 2, Denmark 0. And the Danish fans are pissed off. They wanted to go unbeaten. And I'm pissed off too. I wanted to see Denmark win all their games, but just didn't happen. I did predict them to draw this game though, and they did even worse than I predicted, and they lost. John Sutar in the 35th minute. I did think I read. No, that's a wrong article, I think. But Che Adams in the 86th minute there. And it was a really good performance by Scotland, man. They look bright. Andy Robertson did pick up an injury in this game as well. And they find a way to play both Robertson and Kieran Tierney, which is fine because you can't leave both players, you can't leave any one of those players on the bench at all. And then we go into Austria 4, Moldova 1. Big win for Austria there as they go into the playoffs. That was basically a practice game. We had Marko Arnautovic in the 4th minute, Christopher Tremel in the 21st, then Marko Arnautovic from the penalty spot again in the 55th minute, Ion Niculescu in the 60th minute, and then Dejan Lubicic in the 83rd. Look, we know Austria do have quality in their team, very Bundesliga heavy, and you got the likes of Arnautovic, Dragovic. The team was definitely rotated for this match against Moldova, where the boy David Alaba didn't start the game, and he wasn't even involved in the match, and probably just sent him back. Like, we're through to the playoffs, you don't need to get yourself injured here. So, good stuff by Franco Foda and his boys. I'm still surprised that he's, still in charge, but yeah, man. Yeah, the German definitely knows how to tough it out. So, that'll do it for this group. And congratulations to Denmark again. All the best to Scotland in the playoffs. All the best to Austria as well. Group G, this was a tough group. And this is one of the groups where we had games yesterday. So we have to talk this group. We got to go through this group. The Netherlands topped the group with 23 points. Turkey coming in from the cold. Coming in from the cold there. Cold Turkey. They come in to get the 2nd place, go into the playoffs, and sacking Sinol Gunish was apparently the right thing to do, because I'm pretty sure with Sinol Gunish they would have probably finished below Latvia, maybe not so low, but below Montenegro. So Turkey go into the playoffs, and you don't want to play Turkey in the playoffs, man. You know what I mean? The boy Hakan Çalhanoğlu might just get back to his prime Hamburg days, you know what I mean? So, look, Norway 3rd, very tough for them that they miss out, but they were already threatening to boycott the World Cup anyways. So there's your boycott, Norway. Boycott that now. Look, Erling Haaland, his injury was actually a big miss, and it hampered their chances, man. So, yeah, no Erling Haaland at the 2022 World Cup. He'll have to continue playing at high levels, and we'll probably see him in 2026, where there's probably you probably won't even be able to stop him. Montenegro coming 4th, Latvia 5th, and Gibraltar at the bottom without a point. They lost all 10 games, man. That is tough to take. I'm pretty sure that they didn't sack their manager as well, which is the right thing to do, right? So we go down to the matches right now. Look, you got to give it to Netherlands. They played in front of absolutely no one at their stadium, maybe a few media personnel and the guys on the bench and maybe some important people, but they managed to do the job in Rotterdam at the Feyenoord Stadium and pick up a brilliant 2-0 win. Goals by Steven Bergwijn, brilliant goal, and Memphis Depay, who has been the best attacking player throughout World Cup qualifiers. So big up to Memphis. Big up to Memphis. And guys, I have a little tidbit for you. Canada has scored the most goals in 2021 in terms of all international teams, by the way. So big up to Canada. But Memphis Depay has been the most potent attacking player in World Cup qualifiers. 2-0 win. Did the job. Norway, not good enough. Turkey 2, Montenegro 1. Turkey, look, they almost messed it up, but they had to come from behind. Montenegro scored early. Fatos Beshirai in the 3rd minute, but Mr. Mohamed Aktürkoğlu in the 22nd and Erkan Koçu in the 60th minute give Stefan Kuntz and his boys a lifeline where they can qualify to Qatar, but via the playoffs. Quality stuff there. Turkey much better than Montenegro in the game, and they deserve the spot. And I did predict them before the game to actually clinch a playoff spot. So congratulations to the Dutch. The Dutch are back. They're back, man. They're back at the World Cup after missing the 2018 event. They came third in 2014 and came in second in 2010. Oh, the Dutch, man. The fans must, have nerves of steel, man. I'm telling you. 1974 final, lost it. 1978 final, lost it again. So, Group H, Croatia. Congratulations to Croatia, man. They qualify directly for the World Cup ahead of Russia, who come in second. They into the playoffs. Slovakia, Slovenia, third and fourth. Cyprus, Malta, poor. So, look, Croatia, second at the World Cup last time around, beaten by France. And it's nice to see them actually qualify directly. I like the rise of Ivo Grbić, Atletico Madrid goalkeeper there. And he go over Dominic Livakovic, who still plays locally for Dinamo Zagreb. Maybe Livakovic needs to leave Dinamo. You know what I mean? Try your thing in Italy or Bundesliga somewhere, man. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why Grbić actually leapfrog him to number one now. But look, Russia was very difficult for them, man. The heavens opened and it poured down the blessings on Croatia. They were playing in literally mud and they were playing in a pool of water. And they ended up getting a lucky, very, very lucky own goal. Russia, all they needed was a draw, and they failed to pick up the draw. One goal, courtesy of an own goal in the 82nd minute. But Croatia were the better team, though. The goalkeeper, Safanov, man, for Russia, he was on fire. So Valery Karpin and his boys would have to go through via the playoffs to see if they could make it at the World Cup, where they won't be able to use the name Russia, nor the flag, nor the anthem. They would have to come up with something else. Would they play like a hip-hop song or something for their national anthem? I don't know. Let's see. So, look. We go into Group I. There's a lot of groups. England, congratulations. But the big question is it coming home, baby? Who knows, man? Most likely not, right? So, England qualify after hitting San Marino for 10. They finished with 39 goals scored, 3 against. Brilliant. Poland come in second with 30 goals scored, 11 against, 20 points. They go into the playoffs. Albania, not a bad performance if you ask me. They could look towards the future, try to make their debut. The mighty Magyars, who made the final back in 1954. They're a shadow of the team that they were back then. And they flunk out once again, man, after looking promising at the Euros. Andorra and San Marino are minnows. They shouldn't be in World Cup qualifiers, in my opinion. They shouldn't. They really shouldn't. Really. They should just quit it. Stop doing that. They should just stop. Seriously. What they need to do is to eliminate. They need to eliminate these weaker teams and end up having some more quality groups, quality football, right? Where we might actually end up having, like, let's say we have maybe, I don't know what the format would look like, but it would be much better than the format right now, where we don't want to see England beating a team 10-0. You see what I'm saying? But somewhere in between, England losing 1 or 2 games. Make it a little bit more competitive, man. So, last but not least, Group J, where Germany qualify once again. Of course, they will. But they were horrible at the last World Cup, man. Lost to Mexico, lost to South Korea. And they did beat Sweden, right? That was a team that they beat. They did beat Sweden. Could remember the Toni Kroos free kick. But, look, much better this time around, especially under Hansi Flick. It's the Hansi Flick record that's crazy, though. When you look at the Flick record, it's crazy, though. The Flick record is nasty. It's nasty. Joachim Löw, oh, man, if he was in charge, North Macedonia would have probably qualified on top of the group. But North Macedonia come in second, and they go into their playoffs for the first ever time. Congratulations to North Macedonia, man. Beautiful flag. You cannot miss it. You really cannot miss it. Optimism, sunshine, quality stuff. Ilif Elmas, Ines Badi, Alioski. I wish Pandev was still around, but Ristovsky and Cody, these guys are playing some quality football, man, and they deserve to be in the playoffs. Romania, it's tough on them, but should have won more games. You see what I mean? All you needed, as a matter of fact, was a point. But, you failed to beat Iceland and, look, eliminated. Armenia, I was very impressed with. I think this is their best World Cup qualifying campaign ever. And it was too good to be true. At one time, they were even on top of the table, right? But they didn't have the guts, man. They didn't have enough. They really didn't have enough to actually pull it off. So I never expected them to do it, but they could have gotten a playoff spot though. But they had to play Germany twice and they got destroyed. Iceland finishing behind Armenia is just poor, but it's understandable. Their football is going through somewhat of a revamp right now, where they have a female president at the helm of their football federation, the KSI. And you definitely got to wish Iceland all the best, because it was a great story for 2016 Euros. Almost qualified for the 2014 World Cup as well, and then did so in 2018. But it has been a decline, a downward spiral, a plummet, however way you want to look at it. But Icelandic football shall rise again. Woo! So Liechtenstein, they should not be in qualifiers. I repeat, these teams should not be in qualifiers. Put them in their own little tournament, let them play, and then the best teams would join up with the big boys, like what Africa does. And you have less minnows, and you have more quality games. Okay? Thank you. So that's my thoughts on Europe, man. You know what I mean? Went in depth in terms of every single game that were played yesterday and all the groups. What else do you want from me? I've been live for 3 hours. What else do you want? God damn. What else? Big up to Adam. Ariana Demi is a quality player. He is injured. Yeah, Macedonian. He played for Croatia as well. But he said, nah, man, this Croatian thing, nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And go back to Macedonia here. Germany got a snowflake group. Yeah, Germany really got an easy group, though. They got an easy group. They really got an easy group. But the playoffs is where it's at, though. We discussed that already and could possibly see some good matchups. So, big up to Don Zia in the house. We do have a super chat that I see that we missed. Dom, can they use St. Vinny's anthem? Yeah, they might just use our anthem, man. St. Vincent land so beautiful, with joyful hearts so played. Damn, I can't believe I remember the anthem though. But I don't actually know the American anthem though. Which is a shame. It's a shame. I live in America 18 years and I don't know the anthem. You know what I mean? Dom, sing the national anthem. You representing the USA. Silence. Silence. Big up to the boy Michael Talks Football. How are you doing? I don't know if you're still in there, but big up. Big up to Grogu. How are you? John Burns, Russia and Ukraine are prohibited clashes. Yep, indeed. Indeed. Big up to Irvin Vita in the house. I don't know if you're still in here. Bone 6000. Yeah, guys, I kind of messed up early on there. Morning dump. Isn't Russia a seeded team? But still, UEFA won't allow Ukraine versus Russia. Yeah, Russia is not seeded, though. I think Ukraine are seeded. And to just go back over the rankings, let me show you the rankings right now. Let's take a look at the rankings. This is the rankings right now. And in terms of the teams that... All right, let's click the UEFA rankings. UEFA rankings, guys. Italy seeded, Portugal seeded. Then we have Sweden seeded, Wales, Poland, and Ukraine. So those are the 6-seeded teams. Unseeded will be the Czech Republic, Austria, Russia, Turkey, Scotland, and North Macedonia. I also have to do my ideal matchups though. Guys, wouldn't you love to see Wales against Scotland? Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice though. The UK derby there. Great Britain. God damn, that would be nice though. That would actually be nice. Won't you like to see Portugal versus Italy in a final? Or do you want to see Italy versus Sweden again? Ooh, Dom, you're teasing, Dom. Don't do it. Poland, whoever gets Poland, be very tricky, man. Poland a seeded team. It'll be very, very tricky. Poland will be a tricky team. I think Mike mentioned that the Czech Republic will be... Look, it's all going to be tough. I think you want to draw Russia, though. I think you want to draw Russia. You definitely want to draw Russia. I'm not convinced, by the way, Russia played against Croatia the other night. You want to draw Russia. And, matter of fact, you don't want to draw anybody, man. Believe me. Because North Macedonia are not going to be pushovers. Scotland aren't going to be pushovers. And Austria for sure not going to be pushovers. Turkey, oh, man, it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard, I'm telling you. It's going to be hard in the playoffs, I'm telling you. It's going to be really, really tough. Next set of rankings arrive November 25th. Oh, boy, that's not good. Thought the rankings came out around like this time. Thought they did. Let me check the website and see something. Men's rankings, October 21st. So there will be rankings coming out very soon. Thank you there, John Burns. You're coming in with some quality comments, bro. Really, really happy that you're helping out in terms of that, though. Seriously. Seriously. So right about now, I think North Macedonia might be the lowest ranked team to like still be like really in contention. But let's take a look at all the confederations where Belgium are now number 1. Well, they have been number 1 for a while. Brazil are number 2. But Brazil are closing in on Belgium though. 12 points. France, not close. Italy, they're going to drop. England are going to go up. Italy are definitely dropping. Argentina might go up. Spain are going up. But look, in terms of the rankings, let's go down. Let's go down. We got some time here. Let's go down all the way to the bottom, right? Oh, my God. So imagine that, right? Imagine that San Marino are ranked. Oh, shit. You guys are not seeing this, right? You guys are not seeing this. I'm sharing the wrong page with y'all. I'm sharing the wrong page. I've been moving the page, but I've been moving the wrong page. So let's go. Let's go back here. Sorry. So look, I see Adam said I'm losing my voice. No, I'm not. My voice is good. Trust me, my voice is good. I once lost my voice while I was at work for some strange reason, and I got it back like the same day. I was like, oh God, thank you. That's why I'm drinking a lot of water, man. That is why. So, look, San Marino are the lowest ranked team in the world, even behind Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, Turks and Caicos, Sri Lanka, Eritrea, Bahamas, Aruba. That's horrible, man. And you're telling me you're still playing World Cup qualifiers against freaking England? It's a shame. UEFA need to do something about that. So, you guys could see the other countries here. Gibraltar, all these guys eliminated. You got, all these minnows. You got my boy, St. Vincent in there as well. Where you at? Where you at, St. Vincent, huh? St. Vincent, huh? Where you at? St. Lucia, Guyana, St. Vincent, Puerto Rico, Malta. This country should not even be in the freaking still playing qualifiers. But we're scrolling down. You're trying to spot the team, lowest ranked team that's still alive. All the Oceania teams are still alive, but yeah, I don't think they'll beat. I don't think they'll beat New Zealand though. So let us scroll back down and go back to 3. And realistically, who's still alive, right? So look, realistically, we're gonna come up to the team that's still alive right now, right? All these teams eliminated, all of them, all of them, all of them, all of them, all of them. So realistically, where's New Zealand? They in the top 100 these days? They're in the top 100, it seems. No, they 111. So New Zealand are still alive. They will go into the Intercontinental playoff for sure. They're not getting beaten. They're the lowest ranked team still in with a really fighting chance of qualifying. New Zealand, 111th. We go into the top 100 there. We're breaking in. None of them teams are alive, right? I think the next team is North Macedonia might be. We're going up. We're going up. Vietnam will be eliminated soon. We're going up. Lebanon, I think, would still be alive. So Lebanon, 92nd rank there. They come to mind. They will be alive. Definitely will be alive still. Syria, definitely alive. We scroll up, and it brings us to Bolivia, who are still fighting. Oman are still fighting. China, to a lesser extent. North Macedonia into the playoff for Europe there. Iraq are fighting. The UAE still fighting. Panama, they're fighting. Honduras are out. Pretty sure they're out. DR Congo into the final round in Africa. El Salvador, they still could get it, but I don't think they will qualify. And you have Jamaica. I don't think Jamaica's qualifying either. But then there's Mali. There's Ecuador, who's up there. There's Cameroon. There's Ghana. And all these teams are ranked below 50. And they could make the top 32 teams in the world. And soon we're going to get to a team who's might be outside the 32 that's qualified already, right? So Saudi Arabia will qualify. They're ranked 49. Canada ranked 48. They're going to move up in the rankings for sure after beating Mexico and Costa Rica. They rank 48. We have Qatar, the host, ranked 46. Their rankings will start to drop. Costa Rica still alive with 45. We have Egypt in 44. Scotland 42nd. We're coming up to the European teams, right? And you have Turkey 39th. Paraguay still alive as well. Nigeria still alive. Korea Republic. Serbia's ranked very high though. Serbia's ranked higher than I thought. Australia 34th. Russia, Austria, all these teams still alive. Czech Republic, Algeria, Morocco, Japan, Tunisia, Ukraine. Serbia, ranked 25th, are the lowest ranked team to already qualify. Basically, right? We move up. Peru, Poland, Iran will qualify as well, and they're ranked 22nd. You have Chile, ranked 21st, but not, they might not qualify. And you have Croatia 18th, Senegal 20th, Sweden 17th. You have Switzerland merited their position there. Why is the USA ranked 13th, right? You put them up against Switzerland, put them up against Uruguay and Colombia and Sweden and Croatia, and all these teams right now might struggle. You see what I'm saying? That is the thing about the USA. I want to see the USA against these other teams, man. You get tested against Mexico and Canada all the time, and you play against these other European teams, South American teams, and you get battered, you know what I mean? You get caned. So that is what's up. Mexico in 9th, not playing like a 9th place team these days. And that's just a run through of the rankings there for y'all. So, but thanks a lot, John Burns, bro. Thanks a lot. Dom, go look at Wiki. Look who's seeded. Yeah, it's pretty clear cut. Just look at the rankings. You know what I mean? Plus, we could do other things in terms of the rankings. So, Yes, Jonathan, they are. They are. They are. Romario Jackson, bro, how are you? How are you? How are you doing? So, what else we got here? South Africa could do it if there's a replay. I doubt there'll be a replay, man. They should be higher. Their side has improved a lot. Yeah. And big up to John Burns, bro. I really appreciate you supporting the whole World Cup qualifiers movement and hitting us with these super chats, though. Do appreciate that. If Canada can get 5 wins and a draw against the USA, they will go up to 40th. I love for them to get it to go into the World Cup, the third part. For that to happen, countries like Colombia and Uruguay would have to miss. You're absolutely right there. You're right. But for Canada, I would love to. Any pot would do, man. Any pot, as long as the inner pot going to Qatar. Any pot would do, and I would actually like to see them in the fourth pot, because if you're in the fourth pot, I want to see how they would look against the best teams. And for Canada, I think they could actually luck out if they're in pot 4 and they get drawn against Qatar. You see what I'm saying? Think about that. You get drawn against Qatar, and then you might end up getting a beatable European team. You could end up getting an Asian team that you could beat. And then who knows, Canada into the round of 16 is actually, you know what I mean, a thing. That's a thing. So Tony coming in, Jamaica getting a new coach, no more Tapadam. Yeah, we know that from since we started this stream. Russia are seeded, Dom, not Ukraine. That's why I say look at Wiki. All right, we're gonna look at Wiki. And I'm looking at FIFA website right now. That's what I'm looking at right now. You see what I mean? I'm looking at the website right there. So once you come through to the playoffs from the Nations League, you automatically unseeded. So let's go back to Wikipedia and see what the update says for Wikipedia, right? But I'm just going on the website. That's all I'm going on the website there. So, all right. So right now, I think you might actually be looking at the. All right. So wait, Russia is seeded. All right. How wait. Russia is seeded. Let me see something. Oh, okay. All right. Let me see. Oh, that is how it works. Okay. So they're not even going according to. They're not going according to FIFA rankings, though. I'm glad I took a look at this. They're not going according to FIFA rankings. They're going the 6th runners-up with the best group stage performance were seeded in the semifinal draw. You gotta be damn kidding me with the confusion here, man. Seriously. It's so complicated and so confusing that I'm glad I'm figuring it out as I go, because I thought it's big FIFA rankings. I'm there making myself a clown about FIFA rankings and all of that. And it's according to the, oh man, whatever, man. I don't even care. I'm not ashamed. No shame in my game, guys. This is what it looks like. Part 1, seeded. And it's according to their performances in the group, where Portugal, Scotland, Italy, Russia, Sweden, and Wales performed better than Turkey, Poland, North Macedonia, and Ukraine, right? While Austria and Czech Republic coming as Nations League teams. I thought this was according to freaking FIFA rankings, where it should be. UEFA always want to complicate shit, man. We are clowns, Dom. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, man. You know, I actually read that it's good to not be perfect. When you're perfect, it's like it's too much pressure on yourselves, man. It's good to make mistakes, good to be human, it's good to be relatable. You see what I mean? If I never made a mistake, you won't be able to relate to me. I'll be too nice, I'll be too clean cut. No, I don't want to be that. I want to mess up sometimes. You learn. You see how I learn? I learn because I messed up. Really messed up. But now, I know. I know. And that's what we've been doing. So, we're taking a look at the playoff procedure right there on Wiki, right? And the playoff procedure, the 6-seeded teams will be allocated to semifinals 1 to 6 as the host team in the order of the draw. So the 6-seeded teams would play at home, which make things even better for them, right? The 6 unseeded teams will be allocated to semifinals 1 to 6 as the away team in the order drawn. Playoff path A is formed by semifinal 1 and 2, with the winners of both semifinals advancing to final A, and so on and so forth, with semifinals 3 and 4 and semifinals 5 and 6. The semifinals winners that play hosts playoff. Okay, the semifinal winners that will host playoff finals A will be decided by a draw. So the team that would host the finals, that will be decided by a draw as well. For political reasons, matches between Russia and Ukraine are considered prohibited clashes, unable to be drawn in the same playoff path. That one we got right. The 6th runner-up with the best group stage performance was seeded in the semifinal draw, while the remaining 4 runners-up and the 2 advancing via the Nations League were unseeded. The seedings are as follows. I don't like to mess up, but it is what it is. I thought it was I really thought it was FIFA rankings, but it's not. It is not. But it's fine though. It is fine. It is actually fine. So let me see. You say they are not super bad, but there are some inaccuracies. Are you talking Wiki? Are you talking Wikipedia? Oh, you're talking about, what are you talking about? FIFA rankings you're talking about? Yeah. But Wikipedia is actually put in by individuals like you and I could go and double check it. So it's not like some organization like FIFA are putting it in and nobody could actually correct them. Wikipedia could actually correct them. So that is what it is right there though. Let me see. Scotland and Wales cannot meet in the semifinals, but might meet in the finals of one path. Ukraine won't play Russia. Yep. That is what's up. That is what's up. That is exactly what's going on right there. So Harry Kane scored the most goals with 12. And Memphis Depay had 12 as well. But Memphis had more goal contributions with a whole lot of assists. Mitrovic got 8. Aaron Zahavi with 8. Robert Lewandowski with 8. Timo Pukki with 6. Antoine Griezmann with 6. Munas de Boer with 6. Cristiano Ronaldo with 6. Names highlighted would actually be able to add more. So you have the full goal scorers below, are the full goal scorer list for all the groups and the playoff rounds. You know what I used to like to do? Just go over to Wikipedia and go down a rabbit hole, man, and just click and learn. So, but look, I'm glad we cleared up the whole playoff thing though. I really glad we cleared up the playoff thing. But for Africa, it will be FIFA rankings. Pretty sure about that. That's the thing. That's why it was so difficult to figure out, man. You know what I mean? Let me go back and let's take a look at Africa, guys. Let's take a look at Africa. So, the 10 group winners from the second round will be drawn into 5 home and away ties. The winners of each fixture will qualify for the 2022 World Cup. The draw will be on December 18th of 2021. The top 5 teams are Senegal, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Nigeria. And they will be drawn against the bottom 5 teams, which are Egypt, Cameroon, Mali, Ghana, and Congo. And that's according to freaking FIFA rankings, man. So that is why I have to explain myself. I really have to. I don't mind being wrong, but I don't like being wrong. But I'm telling you, it's UEFA and the intricacies. That's why. That is actually why. You see what I mean? I hate being wrong, but sometimes you gotta be wrong to end up being right at the end. So yeah, that screwed up with the whole FIFA rankings thing there. I'm not happy about that. I want to give you guys the right information, but you know, don't be afraid to check me and say, "Dom, no, that's not the right thing. This is the right thing." You see what I'm saying? And you guys have been doing that, and I do appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. See what I mean? Do appreciate that. All right, so guys, I've been live for 3 hours, 20 minutes. I'm so tired, man. And I won't even get to sleep all day tomorrow because I got to get up for at least maybe 8 o'clock and go into work where I have to go to this class because I got a breach of rules by driving at the airport on the ramp, man. So I gotta go in. That sucks. I would have actually done my live stream tomorrow for the Premier League, but at least I get a day to prepare. And Friday, at least for Friday, I get to sleep until about 8:30 too, you know. So yeah, I'll get my rest, man. I'll get the rest. But there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done. Guys, if you have questions for me, please ask. Please ask. Let me check my phone. Let me see my wife message me. Ask questions, guys. We're doing a bit of Q&A right now. Q&A time. Q&A time, baby. For about maybe 15 minutes, and then we call it a day. So, Raz, UEFA playoffs and AFC playoffs will be so much fun to watch. Yeah, there's also AFC playoffs, and there's also Intercontinental or Confederations playoffs as well. So it's a lot more football left, man. It's a lot more football. You know what? Let's look at the football that we have left. All right, we got a question here. Big up Chase, man. How are you? Dom, do you think Canada will go undefeated? I'm from Canada, so probably some bias. There's a strong possibility. If they went undefeated so far, they just might. They just might. What are my 3 teams to qualify from the playoffs? I have to know the path first. I got to know the path. When I know the path, I'm going to let you know. But I would like to see Portugal at the World Cup. I would like to see Portugal. To be honest, I won't mind reacting to Italy missing another World Cup, though. After winning the Euros, they you know what I mean? They haven't played well enough to qualify. I want to see Sweden. Want to see Sweden go through to the playoffs again. It's rough. Teams like Scotland, you know, it would be massive for them. Be massive for Wales. But those might just be the teams that miss out, you know what I mean? But the crazy thing about it is how intense all these games are going to be. It's just amazing when you think about it, right? These games are going to be good. These games are going to be really good, man. These games are going to be... Could I say that again? These games are going to be good. You see? How many games we got? How many games? That's what. Semi-final 1, 6 games, and then 3 finals. 9 matches. Those are going to be good. Angel. Dom, do you think they should have a West Indies team like the cricket? Nah. It'll still be weak. It'll still be weak, man. Let me see. Do you believe Lebanon can make the World Cup? Don Zia, to the playoffs? I do. Japan are struggling. UAE should have been a draw to me. And did you see? Let me see. Yeah. And did you see? There should have been a win and they blew it. Yeah, late against Iran. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the questions, bro. Don Zia, thanks for the question. I see the question. Question, John Burns. Can Canada get 7 points in their 3 matches in January window? Listen, anything is possible with Canada right about now. But the main talking point for Canada, the game against the US, the 4 matches that they have to play, the 4 games that they have to play in Central America, and the match in March against Jamaica at home. So, pretty much it, man. Pretty much it. So, in terms of the World Cup, right? Next year, we got games in all the confederations still. A lot of, we're doing World Cup qualifiers daily, guys, and we still have a lot of games, man. We still got a lot of games. You think it's over? It ain't over. It's not over. We got a lot of games left to play. We only, touch the surface. We only scratch the surface. And let's take a look at the games that we have left. All right, so we have a whole confederation in OFC to play. There's nothing scheduled yet. Look, nothing scheduled. There will be a tournament playing in Qatar. And there's nothing yet, right? So, yeah, can't talk too much about that. For UEFA, we got the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure that UEFA ain't update their website yet. You see, FIFA, you should have been updated already, man. That is poor. Should have updated. Should have updated that. CONMEBOL, we still have 4 match days left in CONMEBOL, as you guys could see. 4 match days remaining in CONMEBOL. A lot of games coming up. And an Intercontinental playoff as well. For CONCACAF, you go over to CONCACAF. There's still 6 match days left in 2022. So we got a lot. And Africa, we got the playoffs. 10 teams, 5 parts there. 5 winners will qualify directly. We got the AFC as well. Still got how many match days there? 4. A 4th round. So a lot. But guys, very tired right now. But we got a off topic. What are your top 3 meals? I like me some chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? Love me some wings. I love, this thing I love codfish, right? But it's the way the codfish is done. It's like salted. We call it saltfish, saltfish with like maybe dumplings or breadfruit or, sweet potatoes. I love that. Love me some chicken wings. Love me that fried chicken wings with some hot sauce and some ketchup, man. Whatever sauce, sweet chili sauce or something like that. And what else I could say that I really love, man? I like soup. I like any good tasting soup, man. I'll eat some soup. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I love me some rice and peas with some jerk chicken as well. Yeah, what else? I love me some cornmeal porridge, man. What else? Ooh, lasagna. Pretty good. A good lasagna. My wife makes some good lasagna. My wife could cook very well, though. So find you a wife that could cook very well. You find you a pretty girl that can't cook, oh, man, that's the most annoying shit ever, man. I'm telling you. It's the most annoying thing ever. Do not be with a girl that can't cook. And you should be able to cook yourself, too, but I love when my girl could cook for me, man. Seriously. I love when I could come home from work and I could get a hot plate. You see what I mean? And I don't always have to buy food. Should Gabriel make Brazil squad? He just might, according to the season he have, according to what he does for Arsenal next year. Michael, you think Tabarez going to get sacked? Yeah, he will. Tabarez is getting a sack because, Uruguay just might not qualify. He might just get the sack. But they're not going to sack him like that, though. They'll give him a respectable send-off. You know what I mean? Big up to the messenger of the covenant. How are you? How are you? What else we got? Dom, what you think is the most entertaining confederation? The popular answer is probably UEFA. Definitely not the most entertaining when you have all those minnows. The most entertaining confederation is, of course, CONMEBOL. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that, man. But yeah, can't answer all your questions, of course. But guys, I'm about to get up out of here, man. 3 hours and a half. I'm killing my voice. I'm tired. That's the thing. And with my boy Liam, guys, I tried. Let me tell you what I did, right? I tried to take a nap, a power nap today for about a half hour. And I can't do it with him unrestrained and walking around the house because he might go outside, for a stroll. He might burn the house down. He might flood the house. He's a little boy. You do curious and do dumb things. Turn on the sink and it might overflow and I might be there sleeping and I wake up to the sound of a waterfall or something. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I'm in the couch. I strap him in his high seat just so that I could get a little break. I give him some chicken, some fries, I even give him some bacon. He loves bacon. Maybe the Muslims won't agree with that. But I give him some snack. I give him juice. I give him everything. He got his tablet. Do you know when I fall asleep that this kid starting to throw everything at me so that I could wake up? You see what I'm saying? So I can't sleep, man. And then I had my laptop on a little folding table alongside the high chair. I moved the laptop from the freaking high chair. He probably rocked the high chair closer to the laptop, and I woke up to the sound of my laptop hitting the floor. I was like, and I think the laptop, it's a MacBook, so it's made of all metal, but it probably got cushioned from a Cheetos, those Cheetos, the hard ones. What are they called? Cheeto? Well, I can't even remember what they call it, but it's Cheetos. So laptop was fine, but this kid, man, I can't rest, man. He's his mother's only child, and he's always want to be up under you. Like, he's been here with me the whole time. I don't know if you noticed, but he's been here the whole time. It's time to wake up, sleepyhead. Wake up. Smell the coffee. Yeah, he's been here the whole time, though, but yeah, man. Yeah, Raz, definitely got cushioned by the Cheetos, man. But I never dropped my laptop. My laptop's dropped because this kid, Liam, threw my laptop on the floor. So, yeah, guys, it's been fun doing another one. Make sure you like the video. We haven't even hit 100 likes. God damn, come on, guys. You could do better than that. You could definitely do better than that. And, it was fun wrapping up the World Cup qualifiers in November. Giving you guys an update. I know I screw up with the playoffs, but that's fine, man. That's fine. The playoffs in Europe is very confusing. Very, very confusing. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Happens to me a lot, except no Cheetos. Says Raz. But guys, I have to get up early. Let me go and pick up my wife before she messaged me. Let me get a little head start. And I'm going to, be back soon. Who knows? I might be live tomorrow again. I don't know. Might take a break, though. But guys, I appreciate it, man. It's not easy. And the other thing, it ain't easy to actually be talking, in front of 100 people. I know my streams don't go 500 and 1,000, but it's okay, man. It's okay. 100 is cool. It's cool, man. 100, 50, 60, 78. That's cool, man. It's a little nerve-wracking when you got 500 people watching you, man. You feel me? It's tough. It's tough out here for a pimp like me. Do you live in Canada? I live in New York City, guys. NYC. I don't want to be living here in the next 3 years. I want to move. I want to move to where it's a little bit more slow-paced, a little bit more quiet, man. New York is very expensive. So, guys, look. Thanks for joining another one. I will be live again pretty soon. Definitely on Friday for the Premier League preview for week 12. And, you know, we got club football coming back. You know what I mean? Let's see if Liverpool are going to lose again. Big up to the Liverpool fans in here. They hate losing. Let's see if United are going to keep losing. My team City keep winning. Chelsea keep losing and dropping points, of course. You know, let's see. Let us see. But, yeah, we'll be back. And I have to do like a little round. There'll be a lot of live streams coming up, man. I have so much. Listen, I might actually have to be live, go live tomorrow. I have so many things I had to share with you that I didn't get to share with you guys. A lot of things, man. A lot of articles, a lot of news that we missed. And we might just have to do something like that. An article, a live stream is World Cup qualifying news that we missed or something like that. Something like that. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Next year, World Cup Rich Squad Lives will be couple hundreds easily. Yeah, hopefully. But the only thing is that there'll be a whole bunch of people doing them too, you know. That's what I hate, man. That is what I hate. Nobody want to grind you in the qualifiers. But when the freaking World Cup come around, all of y'all freaking opportunists want to come around and bandwagon the thing. But it's all good, man. It's whatever. It is whatever. I'm going to call them out anyways. I'm going to call them out. Wait until the World Cup come around so you'll see exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to call them out. But anyways, guys, peace out, man. It was a fun one. We're going to be doing this again pretty soon. All right? So, for everybody, Dominic Rich, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Yo, Adam, Friday, bro. Friday. All right? Peace.